Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I'm Emerging Boat and we are on day 86 of Cycle 3, and that means we are about to embark on our Cycle 3 finale! Woohoo! It is absolutely crazy to me that I'm already at this point. I mean, on the one hand, it feels like it's been forever that I've been playing through this cycle, but at the same time, it feels like it's flown by. And honestly, it brings back some memories of doing my first playthrough and getting to the end of this cycle. And back then, cycles 4 and 5 weren't out yet, and so it was this feeling of, oh my gosh, it's so exciting for where the story is going. Like, I want to know more, I want to understand more, but I have to wait for these cycles to come out. And you know, now it's a little bit different because I've played through it already. I have some of that information, but like, it just, I don't know. It's cool to be back at this point in the game again. If you've been following along through this whole playthrough, hopefully you're feeling some of that same level of excitement. But if you're not, let me just try to hype you up right now. Just try to build up that excitement for you, because like, it is so cool to see this almost like mini climax. Like, the full game is 5 cycles, but like at one point it was just 3 cycles, and Marcin, the designer, I think had in mind that like he wanted to have, I'm not going to get into any kind of build up here, but anyway, be excited. I think this is going to be a great video. I think this is going to be a great finale to the cycle. And I just need to shut my mouth so I don't ruin things. Before I get into the video and get into the actual new content that we haven't seen yet, let me start with a recap of the cycle so far. I'll warn you up front, my recap is probably going to be a little bit more sparse than in past cycles, partly because the story in this cycle is a little bit more complex and harder to follow than cycles 1 and 2, and partly because I didn't take the best notes, so I'll cover what I can. And to do that, we'll take a step back into what was the end of Cycle 2, where after facing the Nietzschean, aka Achilles, we left the land of Laconia and entered the land of Delphi. Someone or something had apparently stopped the Nietzschean, and with his dying breath, Achilles wanted us to take down this entity that had stopped him. From the moment we arrived, it was clear that how strange the land of Delphi was. Calling it time-locked doesn't really even do it justice. It's more like it's stuck in multiple times simultaneously. There are portals that take you to the Hellas before the eschaton happened, and portals that take you to some time in the future. Then, within each of these timelines, there are these pockets of land that are time frozen, encased in this black ice, almost removed from reality entirely. And then you have this wall of time, this time front that is looming and just essentially erases existence. And then there's the Argo, which is stuck in its own time loop. All of Delphi is in some kind of loop, but the Argo specifically keeps on resetting to its original position roughly once every in-game week. Our scholars aboard the Argo had to research technology related to Ariadne's anchor, tech we used all the way back in Crete, in order to find a way to anchor ourselves to somewhat of a fixed point in time and keep some kind of like stability within our own timeline. When we first arrived in Delphi, we were greeted by a vision, or more than a vision. Like, Icarus actually appeared in front of us, but did just that, like just appeared out of nowhere. Icarus, who was the son of Daedalus, flickered into existence right before our eyes, and he left us with a message. He can help us stop the eschaton. He has helped Argonauts at other points, and sometimes he forgets, you know, which timeline or which iteration of Argonauts he's talking to, and if he's met us or not in our timeline. And it's very bizarre. Like, at this point, we haven't really become familiar with Delphi, so we're not really sure, we're not really understanding what he's talking about. But Icarus talks as if he has seen cycles and cycles of Argonauts try and fail with trying to stop the eschaton. But he tells us that he can help us, and that getting to this point is significant. It's special in a way. And as he begins to start to flicker out of existence, he tells us that we need to start by lighting his father's masterpieces. And before we could fully explain what that means, he vanishes. But he did say enough to make clear that he had met us before, or some version of us, and that was enough for us to try to trust him and just, we don't really have anything else to go on right now. Let's do what Icarus says and let's try to find these masterpieces that he's talking about. So we were left to figure out on our own what lighting the masterpieces means, while also dealing with the Argo continually resetting back to this certain point in space and time. Eventually, after traveling around and talking to the Alcibiades and the other scholars aboard the Argo, that these masterpieces are most likely these lighthouses that Daedalus built around Delphi, and that we need to light these lighthouses. And so we traveled around, lighting as many of the lighthouses as we could, using the anchoring technology that we developed to keep our ship from resetting so that we could actually make progress. But then, as we start to light some of these lighthouses, we get to one, and after we light it, we're transported into a vision or transported into an actual reality, and we see a bit of a window into the story of Icarus himself. And that story is inseparable from Icarus's relationship with his father. Daedalus viewed Icarus as a failure, someone who did not live up to the Daedalus legacy, who did not deliver on the greatness that was expected of him. At some point, Daedalus left for Crete to assist King Minos in building the Minotaur's Labyrinth and other techne that we found there during our own time in Crete. But before he leaves, he gives his son an ultimatum. If Icarus wants to join him in Crete, he needs to prove himself by succeeding in the mission that Icarus had set for himself, building a skyworthy ship capable of reaching the sun's domain. And if he can't do that, then he's not worthy of joining Daedalus at all. So Icarus builds a ship. He models it after the asteremes that the Hyperboreans built long before. He gets so close to reaching the sun's domain, but he falls short. The ship, called the Aspirant, doesn't just fail, it fails catastrophically. The crew aboard it are transformed into monsters, the Primordials that begin to haunt the land of Delphi, and the curse of Delphi itself seems deeply tied to Icarus's failure, as if a god, Helios, cursed him for the folly of reaching toward a domain no mortal should enter. And so Icarus is trapped in a loop, repeating his failure over and over, constantly trying to reach the sun's domain and constantly falling short. But the Argonauts aren't fully bound by that loop. While they are somewhat subject to being reset, their actions represent a new variable within these timelines. They can actually force change. They can impose change and differences in these timelines that somewhat already happened in some way, or in the case of the future, have yet to happen. And so they take this knowledge and they travel into the past to help Icarus complete his mission, giving him better technology, replacing some of the crew with more knowledgeable members from the Argo who can help him to succeed and cross into that sun's domain. And just maybe, just by helping Icarus this way, the Argonauts can stop the eschaton. But the Moirai will have their way. Despite everything the Argonauts did to change the outcome, the mission seemingly fails again. The new ship, the one the Argonauts helped build by altering the past, crash lands in the future of Delphi, a bleak future that seems utterly devoid of hope. And so we follow the pieces of that ship. We travel into the future, hunting down the crashed vessel, trying to understand, why did it still fail? What went wrong? What do we need to change to break the loop and stop the eschaton once and for all? What we find surprises us, because what we thought was another failure wasn't. Icarus made it to the sun's domain. When we meet him in the future, he's not the same Icarus from before. He's changed. Not quite godlike, but something clearly beyond mortal, though he still refers to himself as mortal. He thanks the Argonauts for helping him complete his mission, and he tells them that he held up at his end of the bargain. He stopped the eschaton. This future that they're in right now is one where the eschaton never happened. But the Argonauts are confused. How can that be? If the eschaton never happened, why is this future still so bleak? What went wrong and how do they move forward? The answer they arrive at is this: you can't fix it by trying to change the past. The solution to the eschaton isn't stopping it, it's moving past it. The only way is forward. But despite this revelation, there's yet another problem. Icarus wants to go further. He wants to ascend the vacant throne that Helios left behind. He wants to become something of a mortal god, finally surpass his father, to make him proud, to be something that his father never thought he could be. Icarus leaves the Argonauts to make his ascent once again to the sun's domain, and the Argonauts are left to figure out how to stop him. The answer? They need to get there first, and they need to build a sky-worthy ship of their own. The Argonauts take what remains of the aspirant, the ship used to reach the sun's domain, and combine it with old Hyperborean technology they've gathered. Alcibiades begins overseeing the construction of this new vessel in the Argo works. He calls it the Phonikos. But the Phonikos is missing something critical: an engine powerful enough to make it skyborne. Or rather, something beyond the skies, and reaching into a place where no man-made ship should be able to go. While Alcibiades and the other scholars are working on solving the problem, we come across a sunken version of the Argo. We had seen a sunken version of the Argo early in the story. A reminder that there are timelines where the Argonauts have not succeeded, they have failed, and the artifacts that remain from them are reminders of that failure. The Argonauts board this broken version of the Argo and discover a log written by a man named Aeon, chronicling the journey of Argonauts from another timeline entirely. The log pulls us into a vision, and what we see is similar to our own awakening at the start of the game. Argonauts being woken in the middle of a primordial attack, rushing to the Aeon to fight it off. The old priest being the first thing that greets them as they awaken from their quote-unquote long slumber, or awaken from their dreams. But in this timeline, things went very differently. The Primordial, in our timeline, chose to attack the Aeolipile engines of the Argo, which is what initially forced us to have to stop in Crete. But the Primordial in this timeline made a different decision and chose to attack the Mausoleum. A crushing blow is delivered to this part of the Argo, destroying not just the remains of the Argonauts that are in this long slumber, but killing the old priest. The Argonauts who awakened were still able to rush to the Aeon and Dawn Titans and fight off the Primordial to save the Argo. But in doing so, they lose one of their own. And in a timeline where there is no Argonaut mausoleum, there is not another Argonaut to take their place. The Argonaut is dead, and the rest must continue on without them. Through Lycaon's notes, we watch these Argonauts travel through Crete, lose another Argonaut, travel through Laconia, lose another Argonaut. By the time they reach Delphi, only one Argonaut remains, attempting the same journey that we are on now, trying to break this cycle, and seemingly failing. But through that failure, they left something behind. This other Argo, with its Aeolipile engines fully intact, never damaged because the Primordial had attacked the Mausoleum instead. Alcibiades is able to recover the technology from the other Argo and uses it to complete the Phonikos, making it a ship that, to at least our knowledge, should be capable of reaching the sun's domain. And so here we are, with the only thing remaining is a decision of when we want to begin our ascent. Now, there's some other story threads we encountered along the way that I'm not going to do justice here. Like, there's some additional history that we learned about the war between the Titans and the Olympic gods. My notes on these parts aren't really good enough to recap accurately, so I'd encourage you to go back and watch some of the earlier episodes if you want to see some of that story unfold, or jump into the Discord if you want to talk more about like the details of the adventure so far. I'm sure that I have misinterpreted some things too along the story, like even playing through it a second time. I'm sure there's things that I'm just like, I read one way, but they were intended to mean another. But you know, that's the beauty of some of these games, is the different perspectives that you get from reading, because they're somewhat ambiguous. There's also one parallel thread that I want to call out before we move on, because it's relevant to this whole story. Helios also had a son named Phaeton. And Phaeton wanted to drive the chariot of Helios, the sun's chariot, and supposedly he couldn't handle it. And Helios looked upon his son the same way that Daedalus looked upon Icarus, with disappointment and disdain, and with that same standard of greatness that a son could never quite meet. So we have this parallel thread running throughout the entire cycle. Icarus and Phaeton, two sons defined by their father's impossible expectations, both reaching for something just out of their grasp. And that parallel ties directly into the main boss Primordial of this cycle, the Sun Descendant. At different points, we've seen the Sun Descendant appear to be born from Phaeton, and at other points, born from Icarus. So which is it? Is it both? Does it depend on the timeline? Maybe we'll find out. I think that's all the major stuff. So before we actually continue on into the new parts of the story and go to the story paragraph pointed out by 4B, there are some things that I need to cover from the end of the last video, the Dahaka fight, that I totally forgot. Like, I knew I didn't want to read the story that was going to be presented at the end of that, because it kind of gave away some things that I think should be left for Cycle 4. But at the very end of it, there's at least some things, like some technology that we can get that I totally forgot about. So I want to take a look at that real quick, because we got a technology card that can give us access to some new gear, and we got a new Titan unlocked. Now the Titan is obviously the most exciting thing, so of course I'm not going to talk about that first. I'm going to make you wait. But here we have 4 pieces of gear that we can now craft using the Dahaka autopsy technology. The first one is a support gear, Dahaka Predestinator. It's ascended, unique. You can, in the window of opportunity, you can use Pursuit 5, which allows you to travel 5 spaces in the same direction as the Primordial if the Primordial is doing an attack and you are not the target. Additionally, it allows you to do an advanced Hermes reflex, which is something that we will talk about in Cycle 4. But I will say, being able to start off with gear at the beginning of that cycle that allows you to do an advanced Hermes reflex, damn am I excited for it, because that is going to be a huge advantage. And speaking of huge advantages, we have the Immortal Cestus. It's a 2-handed weapon, 2 attack dice, plus 2 precision, 1 white die per hit. A danger gated effect of 7 or more danger, you get an extra power. It's unique. It has Hope 3, Closing 1, Pushback 3, Commit. You can spend a fate and exhaust it to block 1 or defy 1. And we haven't used defy a lot yet. I think it was a keyword in the first 3 cycles. Maybe it wasn't. But defy works like a block, but it's for judgments. And then a crit miss effect of activate the adversary, which that doesn't really matter for us right now since we killed the Dahaka. And then if you have any condition, you can get power reroll 2. So this weapon is kind of underwhelming compared to some of the weapons that we have at the end of Cycle 3. But being able to have this going into the beginning of Cycle 4, that's pretty good. Next up, we have a piece of armor, the Dahakandis, I have no idea. It gives you +1 evasion. It's unique. It gives pole position, and it gives Hermes move 2, and it has an ascent check of +2. And then if you have 6 or more danger, you can get Hermes reflex for the cost of exhausting it and gaining a fate. And yeah, most of those keywords may not mean a whole lot right now, but come Cycle 4, it's pretty good. And then lastly, we have the Immortal Armor, which, as you can guess from the name, it is another piece of armor. It has 2 black armor dice. It is ascended. It's unique. You have 1 additional accessory slot or support slot while you're using it. And then at 9 or more danger, you can gain a fate and exhaust it for superior chance. Superior chance is the same thing as second chance. I think the only difference is that if you're using it for obols, you get to take out the you died horribly obol. So it gives you a slightly higher chance of surviving during those obol draws of high danger. But like the most notable thing about that is that it's an exhaust. It's not a discard. I think every piece of gear that we've had second chance on, it is you gain a fate and you discard it, or in some cases you gain a danger and you discard that gear to get that ability. This is just exhausted. You can use this multiple times for superior chance. Granted, you have to be at 9 danger, so, you know, it's a little tough. But that is awesome that you don't just have to throw away your armor or your gear to use that ability. So these are pretty awesome. We will probably not really be crafting them just yet. I don't really think I will be using them going into the final battle. So we'll set those off to the side. There is a mechanic I want to go over too, but first, let's talk about our new Titan. You've heard of the Truth Bearer. Now get ready for the Immortal Truth Bearer. It'd be funny if he just had an ability that was like, yeah, you just can't die. You're just permanently alive. It may not be fun to play like that for more than a battle or two, but it'd be entertaining for a little bit. But the Immortal Truth Bearer is just an upgrade to our Truth Bearer. And saying just an upgrade is a little bit demeaning because the Truth Bearer was already one of, if not our best Titan. And the Immortal Truth Bearer being an upgrade to our best Titan, yeah, I think we'll take that. It has a black power die plus auto black 1, and it has the same ability where if you have R7 marked, then you get auto hope 1. So the Immortal Truth Bearer gets auto black 1 and auto hope 1, which is incredible. Like I've talked about it before, but having 1 or 2 black tokens in a Kratos pool to give you an extra reroll, especially earlier on in a fight when you may not have power reroll available, is huge. Like it can make the big difference in terms of just wounding or not wounding. The Immortal Truth Bearer has some other things. Ambrosia limit 6 instead of 5. Bleeding limit 6 instead of 5. Despair limit 5, which I think that part was the same as our normal Truth Bearer. But then it also has Wish Dodge. And so we saw some Wish attacks from the Dehaka. We didn't see that many, although I'm also wondering if there's cases where I could have just accidentally done a wish or like saw a wish attack and just treated it as a normal attack. That's totally possible. I'm actually kind of curious to go back and look at the Dehaka AI cards to see how many wish attacks that he had, to see how likely it was that I messed up. But regardless, wish attacks are a bit of a pain in the ass if you don't have the things to take care of them, because it just is treated as a full hit if you don't have wish dodge. And so normally you have to try to find gear that has that ability in it, but Immortal Truth Bearer gets that built in. Oh, sorry, slight correction. Wish dodge does not give you the ability to do those rerolls on wish attacks. You still need wish armor, but wish dodge gives you the ability to get +1 evasion bonus if you already used wish armor, which is a little bit different. If you have wish armor, it can be better, but yeah, different than how I initially described it, so I apologize for that. The trauma table is the same as the normal Truth Bearer. The Kratos table, I think, is the same, with the sole difference being that the opening tokens that are on the normal Truth Bearer's Kratos table are now closing tokens, which gives you a free reroll of your attack die. And then the abilities are pretty much the same, except fate follows. So there was the ability that the Truth Bearer had where if you had a crit miss, you had to activate the adversary. The Immortal Truth Bearer is similar, except that each time you roll a crit miss, you activate the adversary twice. So if you're going to be using the Immortal Truth Bearer, you better just be prepared that you're going to be fighting your adversary soon. And then lastly, another thing that we got after killing the Dehaka was this token, which I am not going to explain the story implications of it. I will just say that during the timeline step, we can assign this to an Argonaut, and then we can follow the rules for it, where at the start of battle, we get 1 rage. So I think I'm going to say that Aster has earned this. Aster will be able to start her battles with 1 rage. And I think with that, we're all set. I'll quickly show like the state of the Argo, even though most of these things may not matter for the rest of this video. I'm sorry, for the rest of this cycle, which is the rest of this video. But we're at 4 hull, 5 crew. We have no Argo Fate because we just came out of that Dahaka battle. We have 1 Paradox. We have 6 Frozen Time, although maybe... Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing you the screen. Here we go. We have 6 Frozen Time, but there's a chance I may have used a Frozen Time at some point and just forgotten to decrement it. But I'm not positive on that, just kind of a suspicion because I feel like I gained a lot of Frozen Time towards the tail end of this cycle. Our loop length is now 4, but that doesn't really matter. Although actually, I think I might have had to... let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I... Oh, maybe I should have gained another Doom as well. I feel like sometimes I've erased the loop end event on my timeline, and sometimes I haven't. Sure, we'll say I was supposed to gain another Doom because maybe I was supposed to activate the Ariadne's Anchor again. Although, I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna assume I did it right. We're just gonna keep it like this. Not gonna try to retcon things that I'm not positive about. In terms of adventures, we completed 5 adventure hubs, which is pretty awesome. We did leave behind what we left behind. We did leave behind a couple of what's it called? Nemos cards from not doing the alpha from some of these adventures, but I care more about trying to complete the hubs than necessarily getting all of the Nemoses. Although if I was using this as like a run where I was trying to like do the, what's it called? Menestus Theater afterwards, I would probably focus more on trying to get those Nemos cards, but at the same time, if you're going to do the Menestus Theater, whatever, I think it's fair to just unlock them. But as we've seen before in previous cycles, it does help to have hubs completed for the end of the story. We have 4 Twilight tally marks. We don't really know what that means yet. Titans, we are at 16 out of 20 right now. Let's see. Gliss, doesn't matter. No. Oh, actually, Diplomacy we can take a look at. We are at -2 with the Sun Air, so almost neutral. Then we're still allied with the Delphians and the Twilight Watch. And I will care more about trying to protect my allied status with them, I think, than I will about trying to get the Sun Airs to neutral. Then, what else do we have? Yeah, God Forms and Summons. I did use a number of God Forms and Summons in our Dahaka battle. We have Hephaestus and Artemis used up. And then in Summons, we've used our 3 normal summon charges. And we used them on the Solitude Nymph, the Depths Nymph, and the Nietzschean Nymph. So those are not available for us in this final battle. Assuming there is one. Who knows? Let's see. Cargo. Here's our resources. We did get another Dahaka core in that Dahaka battle. I also used a Pygmalion Stone to prevent our Game Changer from dying, because I think I'll probably want to use them if we have a battle coming up. Then technology doesn't really matter. I did do the structural technology research for today already, but it didn't matter. We're not going to end up using it. Argonauts. Heraclides gained a new boon during that Dahaka battle, where he now has Ambrosia limit 6. So that's fun. And then here we are on our timeline on day 86. All right, I think that finally covers everything. I think we're actually ready to get into some new parts of the story here. Let me go ahead and grab our card, Aeon's End. And it says, reach the sun's domain. During any story step, you may see paragraph 0160. Warning, this is a point of no return. You won't be able to return to the voyage phase. Let's do it, baby. I'm ready. I'm as ready as I'm ever gonna be.
The air is hauntingly still. The faintest of winds rising around the Argo as it sits at anchor in the broad bay. You stand atop the Acropolis deck, looking upward with a sense of awe and not a little unease. The world is warped here, with vast chunks of ice and entire mountains rising up into the air, spinning and floating around one another in odd orbits, like a flock of birds or insects engaged in an immense, complex dance. The overall effect is quite unsettling, albeit somewhat entrancing. The laws of the world have shattered, a deep wrongness saturating the air, and yet you can see some beauty in the spectacle. Certainly a sight, yes? The old priest steps up next to you, looking up at the twisting, ever-shifting skies and the pale sun beyond. Helios and Gaia locked in a mortal struggle, even after the world moved on. If the sun heirs are any indication, he always had a hard time letting go. Yes, well, if there's any place where Phoenikos can take flight, it's here. Alcibiades' brows are furrowed, a tiredness lingering in his gaze. He looks up to you with a weary yawn, nodding his head as he approaches. It wasn't easy. The designs are baffling, to tell you the truth. But we've made it work, somehow. But only here. He sighs. I can't tell you how high you need to go, if the junction will hold over such a distance. So, we've transplanted some of the Balaneon fluid, creating a Triskelion transceiver of sorts. It's a temporary measure only. Outside of the pool, the fluid will go inert after a time. There is limited space for Titans, but you'll make it work. Your anxiety does not subside at the craftsman's words. If anything further, it increases as a result of his hesitation. If anyone on the ship could figure out the workings of the heavenly chariots, it would be him. But if even he is puzzled by its layout...
Gain 2 Argo Fate. Take care of that. Go up to 2 Argo Fate total.
Final thoughts?
Read each of these that applies in order. Make Twilight Tally marks when instructed to on your Argo sheet. Don't worry, you'll be redirected back here. Okay, let me pull up the choice matrix. I'm not going to flip back and forth through these. I'll just read them out loud. I have them on here. So we're checking for P11 first. P11 is not marked. If Hub 1 has been completed, C166. It should be. Hub 1 was road less traveled. We completed hubs 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. Yeah, okay. So Hub 1, 166.
The echoes of the mad ravings of the oracle Therisandros ring in your ears. There was little that he'd said that you could make any sense of then, but it sounds more ominous now. He told of voices that reached out to him, spoke to him, of something immensely powerful that filled the vacuum left by their sun god. Fear gleamed in his eyes. Was that why the Sun Heir's cult did not wane like the others? Were they hijacked, spurred to fervor by some malevolent usurper? A growing dread fills your gut. Something, perhaps the perfected Icarus himself, the monstrous sun descendant, has been playing a long game, maneuvering things from beyond your sight. What if your intent to travel back and alter the past is just another ploy in this elaborate scheme?
You will gain a boon in the coming battle. Make a Twilight tally mark and then return to paragraph 160. All right, so we are going up to 5 Twilight tally marks total. If Hub 2 has been completed, see 167. Double checking, yes.
The visions shown by the Cyclopean mirror rise in your mind. The flickers of paths always leading to fixed destinations. The Twilight Watch tried to change the fate that led to the rise of the young Oracle as a tyrannical leader, tried to kill him before he became a threat, and in doing so fueled his rise to power. And yet, was it their mission that caused his ascension? Or your presence that caused their goal to fail? In a moment of rare clarity, you glean insight beyond mortal wisdom. Just as you cannot shatter the bridge you're crossing without falling into the abyss, so too you cannot change the event that shaped you into the person you are now. Without the eschaton, there would be no Odyssey.
Gain 1 Echo of Recollection. You will gain a boon in the coming battle. Make a Twilight tally mark. Okay, we're going up to 6 Twilight tally marks total. I'm going to add an Echo of Recollection. And where's that? Okay, I'm going from 2 echoes to 3. If Hub 3 has been completed, it is not, because Hub 3 was what we leave behind or what we left behind. If Hub 4 has been completed, it has, that was of Wax and Promises.
You recall the words of Tebaris, the last Hyperborean. His pity for Icarus and dismay over Daedalus' failings. The mission to rise to the sun's domain was never meant to succeed, was doomed from the start, until you interfered and made it possible. It was your actions that drove Icarus to sacrifice his own crew to ascend. Or would he have found a way, even without you? The question needs to be asked, whether your meddling was worth it. And what of poor Tebaris, hiding in the dark of ruins, fearing an evil that no longer existed? Should he have allowed himself to be ruled by his past for all this time? Or should he have faced the future?
If you have access to apostate technology cards, you may immediately craft any 1 gear for half the cost, rounding up. You will gain a boon in the coming battle. Make a Twilight tally mark. Let me check that technology card. Okay, there's the apostate armor and apostate weapons. We have not unlocked apostate weapons. We do have apostate armor, but we also already have all the 3 pieces of gear that you can craft from it. That's the Shade Shield, the Shade Armor, and the Exile's Garb. All great things, but we just already have them. So we will not do anything with that. Then you will gain a boon in the coming battle. Make a Twilight tally mark. All right, so let's just do this since I haven't really been showing any of it. We're going up to 7 Twilight tally marks here. Turn to 160. That was Hub 4, right? It was 169, just double check. Yeah, okay. If you have completed Hub 5, the answer to that should be yes. That should be can't go back. 3, 5, yes, can't go back. So C170.
Caution overwhelms you as you recall the town of Lilea and the inhabitants there. Threatened by the time front, living in such despair that they would willingly walk into its embrace rather than continue to live in the wastes of the Twilight Epoch. They had claimed the eschaton did not take place, and now you know it to be true. The last pitiless gift of Icarus. For them, the presence of the gods changed nothing. The world was as bleak, if not more so, than the primordial era you inhabit. Why did the gods of the doomed Delphi future permit such suffering? Furthermore, if you strive to bring them back, is there any guarantee they will avert such a horrific vision to come to pass?
Subtract 1 Argo fate. You will gain a boon in the coming battle. Make a Twilight tally mark. Alright, so we're going down from 2 Argo fate to 1, and going up to 8 Twilight tally marks total. This was 170 that we just read. Oh, dang it. Just went back too far. 0160. If Hub 6 has been completed. That one was a no, right? Yeah, that was Sin of the Fathers. So we skip that one. If Hub 7 has been completed, see paragraph 172.
For a moment, you dreamed you have achieved everything you set out to do. Stopped Icarus, cancelled the eschaton. In those fleeting dreams, you were yourselves, but not yourselves, and you traveled through Hellas that was not your Hellas, through lands you have visited on your Odyssey, and those that, perhaps, you are yet to visit. And what you saw on those travels filled you with dread. Gods still sat on their heavenly thrones, and yet, in each one of your dreams, you saw suffering, pain, and hardship. Even with the divine enduring, or perhaps because of it, mortals continued to suffer. The terror of the primordials exchanged for the tyranny of the old order. Mortals will never be free if they put other beings above themselves, to rule them or to terrorize them. You feel your resolve tighten. You will not allow such a world to come to be. You cannot. Whatever happens today, you will make sure that the world of mortals is better for it.
One Argonaut may reset their fate or gain 2 rage. Make 2 Twilight tally marks. We'll go up from 8 tally marks to 10. And then since we gave Aster that start of battle gain 1 rage, we are not going to include her in this roll. The rest of the Argonauts I'm just going to have randomly roll to see who will gain this rage. Highest gets it. That will go to Otis 0. Then, all right, now we can go back again to 160. If Paradox is 5 or less, make a Twilight tally mark. That is going to bring us from 10 to 11. Then if you have if you resolved Inward Odyssey 54, the Iron Extinction, make a Twilight tally mark. I'm just going to read that one really quickly just to make sure there's no reason that we wouldn't have had some condition at the beginning of it that would say that like some of the ones were like, oh, you can only do this once you've used this specific god form. 54, the Iron Extinction. No, okay. That was the one that we learned that the primordials don't seem to actually be directly tied to the eschaton, so we're not really sure. We started to question what the eschaton actually was. So we did complete that one. That'll bring us from 11 tally marks to 12. Then if you have 5 or more Twilight tally marks, see paragraph 162. Yeah, I think we beat that by just a little bit with 12.
The old priest turns to you with a concerned look in his eyes, a faint light gleaming behind his gaze. Are you prepared for the task ahead, Argonauts? Do you mean to press on with a plan to avert the eschaton? Why do you ask, old man? One of you responds. It is a grave undertaking, and will have far-reaching consequences. To change the fate of the world, to alter the pattern woven by the Moirae.
Two options. Option 1. You look back on everything you have survived since coming to Delphi. It cannot be for nothing. If you give up on your goal of averting the eschaton now, what does that mean for the trials you have endured? No, your path is clear. No matter the doubts that linger, continue with the mission. Option 2. You've been through so much, and it has changed you. You've yearned for the world of the past for so long that you forgot what it entailed. No, you need to accept the responsibility. The only way is forward. Accept the idea that your mission may be flawed and you need to ponder a new path. The only way is forward. We go with option 2 and see paragraph 174.
The past, one of you sighs. It always seems to haunt our steps. Ever are we looking back over our shoulders to the divine Aeon we were deprived of. The legacy of the Aeons cannot be denied, says the old priest with weary eyes. Nor should it be forgotten, for it has shaped us. But it does not define us. Especially us, the Argonauts, says the party leader, who know of the past only from stories, can experience it only in dreams. Is that why we wake into the world without memory, to be unshackled from history? If that was the design, then it failed. The old priest shrugs. Another legacy of fools of the past trying to control the outcome of the future. Future does not belong to them. It's yours. Delphi is stuck in time. Another of your number agrees. But we aren't. The eschaton, hard as it is to accept, was the first step of our Odyssey. The party leader declares. The first breeze in our sails. Without it, we'd never be here, now, to try and stop Icarus's ascension. We'd never topple the Nietzschean in Sparta, or break the walls of the Cretan labyrinth. We need to let go of changing history, the last of your group concludes. Leave the pattern of the past as it is, and focus on preserving our world in the present and making it better. Otherwise, we are no better than Icarus. The four of you lock eyes, a newfound determination blossoming in your hearts. You realize now what purpose you have here, why you have come so far. Not to fix your gaze on yesterday, but rather to preserve the world so that it may see tomorrow. The only way is forward.
Reset Argo fate. Woohoo! We're losing one Argo fate. Each Argonaut resets their fate. We have no fate to reset. Discard any conditions, lose any afflictions, add nodes to every fated Nemos, and proceed to resolve them. Then mark Q12. Well, unfortunately, we don't get a lot of benefit for that, but really the fortunate side of that is that we have done pretty well to not need the benefit from that. Let's go and mark Q12. Scroll down here, Q12. I guess what we can write here is something like decided that averting the eschaton is not the solution. The only way is forward. Right, Q12, that was right? Yes, okay. For this, see paragraph 175.
I trust in your judgment, Argonauts, the old priest says with a wide smile. Icarus will have ascended to the incandescent court, and there is no telling what madness he may unleash once he takes over the throne of Helios. Then we need to get moving, the party leader answers, his words more weighty than usual. The sooner we have our test flight, the sooner we can prepare the Phoenikos for its journey into heavens.
If R11 is marked, see 176. R11 is not marked. Oh, wonder if that's a bad thing. Anytime I miss out on a check mark like that, I'm just always like, is it good that I'm not resolving that one? Is it bad? We see 177. It's just fear of missing out.
The crew hurriedly loads supplies and weapons aboard the Phoenikos, the Argo's heavenly chariot. A few titans of the stoa have already been led aboard, secured in the guts of the vessel, and the last of your Propylon support teams are preparing themselves to board. Many volunteered for the mission, but you have elected to only take a chosen few. Having talked with Alcibiades, you know that this will likely be a one-way trip. If you fail, no one is coming back. If you succeed, the time lock will be broken, and the anti-Gaian forces that will allow Phoenikos to soar will be no more. An icy chill spreads across the mighty iron ship as the sky overhead grows dark. A rumble of thunder, powerful and threatening, tears the silence, and calls of alarm rise from the Argo's crew. You glance out of the bridge Tholos, looking toward the source of the commotion near the stern. A roiling wall of featureless gray and black churns endlessly. The time front races toward the Argo with alarming speed, one you have never seen before. The time front is collapsing, Alcibiades shouts over the squalling winds. It must be Icarus. He's closing the loop on Delphi. We have to go, now. The party leader barks from the foot of the Phoenikos' boarding ramp. Now, before even the flight test, you rush toward the prototype Asterame, pausing to glance back toward your comrades and advisors. The old priest, Alcibiades, Agrippa, Socratoares, Palamedes, even Lycaon. They all meet your eyes with a grim expression, a momentary connection as deep and intimate as any farewell. Before any of you can think about something to say, the Argo jolts and the Phoenikos shudder on its moorings. It's now or never. You race aboard, your crew members already powering up the engines of the heavenly chariot. You cast a glance backward to see the time front continuing to boil menacingly as it sweeps across the icy wastes and the surface of the waves toward the Argo. Beyond, a vast nothingness that will consume everything. The air before the storm shimmers, and shapes begin to ripple into being. Vast forms with multifaceted wings adorned with countless, glaring, remorseless eyes, like a flock of scavenging carrion birds. Dozens of glittering variations of the Hypertime Oracle all turn their gazes toward the reality being consumed, eager to feast upon its errant fragments. As many as there are choices in the world, another of your group declares grimly. One for every possibility never taken.
If Twilight Watch is friendly or better, see paragraph 178. We are allied with them.
One One of the gargantuan winged monstrosities swoops in low over the Argo, ready to tear the undefended Phoenicos to pieces, while still more of the terrible flock break away from the time front, for a moment blotting out the sun. A flash catches your eye. A rock the size of a mortal, flickering orange, arcs through the air to strike the closest oracle squarely in its center of mass, knocking it from the heavens and into the frigid waters. You look over to see a small fleet rapidly approaching the Argo. Ballistae, mounted on their decks, already loading up with more burning projectiles. Fur-clad warriors whoop and cheer as they prepare another salvo. The Twilight Watch has come to defend the city ship as you make ready to embark upon your mission. The distracted oracles wheel sharply to the side, their ire drawn to the minuscule triremes of mortals, and the Argo uses those few precious moments to turn about and race toward the field of twisting, shifting mountains that dance in the air above the Delphian waves. You spare a glance backward to see the Twilight Watch forces fighting fiercely with the oracles, the primordial beasts decimating them in moments. The conflict is lost to your view as, like an unstoppable tide, the time front swallows both ally and foe alike. You turn away, moving your focus forward. The engines of the Phoenicos are still powering up, the ship readying to launch from the Acropolis deck.
Two Argonauts can gain 1 rage each. Then see paragraph 180. Let's give 1 to Heraclides and 1 to Cersegard.
The twisting, shimmering skyscape of the floating mountains and spires looms closer and closer ahead of you. The Argo churning the waters into a froth underneath as the Aeolipile engines are pushed to their limits. Atop the highest heights of the ship, the Phoenicos is roaring, almost ready to take flight. A deep groan emanates from within the city ship as the skies around you thicken and grow hazy. The forward tendrils of the time front are catching up to you, wreathing it in a twisting fog of icy gusts and cloying moisture. Glancing back, you can see the very world vanishing into the void, land and sea evaporating into nothingness as the time front advances. The Argo jolts again, then stutters as it begins to lose momentum. Ice begins to congeal on the upper decks, thick layers of rime that choke the vessel and weigh it down. The Phoenicos shakes in its moorings, the ice trapping it in place.
If Delphians friendly or better, see 181. We are allied with the Delphians.
The Argo is lost in the glacial maze. The time front is almost upon you when a massive black iceberg groans and splits in two right in front of the prow, opening a narrow path forward. Bronze plates screech as they scrape the sides of the towering black monoliths, while you hold tight, determined to ride it out. Another glacier in front of the Argo shatters with a hollow thud and the sound of wood snapping. Only way is forward! You hear the chant from above, and only then notice the Delphian polis perched on the tops of the ice mountains, the last refuge against anything save for the time front. They're dropping triremes! You hear someone shout and stop, perplexed at the silly notion. But then you see it. A 300-foot trireme plunging down like a gargantuan thundering spear, shattering on impact, splintering the iceberg like an eggshell. The Delphians, they're paving a way for you. Unto dawn! The party leader screams and bolsters the crews, breaking the ice that immobilized the Asterim Phoenikos.
One of the Argonauts gains the Bellerophonic condition card. See 183. Let's make it random. All right. Oh, that's already showing. Yeah, so we can do a little roll here. We'll say highest gets it. That is going to Cersegard. Congratulations, Cersegard. You are Bellerophonic. You have Bellerophonic? You are? I don't know. Paragraph 183.
The Argo leaps forward from the glacial maze with sudden speed. You feel the very air getting lighter, as if the grip of Gaia was lessening. Your crew pours more power into the Phoenikos' engines, and the Asterim lurches in its moorings, straining for a moment before surging upward and breaking free. You feel it begin to rise, powering up, 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 against all expectation, defying belief itself. The Phoenikos begins to take flight. You glance out of the Asterim's bridge to see the Acropolis deck, the ocean, the land of Delphi, even the rampaging time front receding behind you as the sleek craft turns its prow skywards. A cheer rises from the crew, and you echo their joyous cry, reveling in the thrill of weightless motion. This is what the Hyperboreans pined for, their dream of flight, for which they paid the highest price. In an instant, you understand them, then salute their tireless will. You were the first, one of you murmurs, but you won't be the last. Your gaze turns forward to where perhaps the most dangerous part of your journey remains as, looming large and threatening in front of you, vast clumps of ice and rock dance through the air, a hazardous minefield of tumbling mountains that you must pass through.
If Sun Air is friendly or better, see 184. Otherwise, see 185. Yep. Go with that one.
Masses of rock and ice tumble around you. Dozens of impacts from smaller chunks ringing through the Asterim's flanks as the iron plates are marred and scraped. The crew shout out in fear as a large mountain-sized island of floating stone looms large ahead of you. But a sudden swerve avoids the impact, just barely. The maze stretches on before you, and many smaller, more dangerous obstacles lurk in the shadows of the larger ones. Even with expert maneuvering, the Phoenikos will not emerge unscathed. But this is what you need to do. This is where all this has been leading to. Have hope, says the party leader. Forward!
Lose one hull. Okay, can do. I'm not going to try to save against that. I don't think we really need to. Also, while we're at it, party leader has been mentioned a few times, and I haven't actually elected one. Let's just roll to see who that's going to be before we get to an effect that actually requires it. We'll say highest gets party leader status. This one is cocked. Okay, that is going to... Oh, well, Heraclides keeps the priority target token to indicate that he is the party leader.
The skies above the Phoenikos are growing darker, shifting from azure mingled with emerald and violet to a deeper, murkier blue. Clouds still roil and writhe across the heavens above, but they are growing thinner, many more lying below you than above. Your asteroid powers through the skies, soaring ever higher. If circumstances were different, perhaps you would have taken the time to marvel at just what you have achieved, the wonder you have caused to happen. But now is not the time for such thoughts. A shape looms ahead, at first a tiny speck in the sky, a shadow flitting across the surface of the sun. But as you move closer, it grows larger and larger until, finally, you begin to take in its enormity. Sheer cliff faces, towering colonnades, vast temples and courtyards clinging to the surface of a mountain of gleaming white stone. No poet or historian has ever described this place, but you know what it must be. You saw it race through the heavens each day and night. You saw its shadow from the doomed aspirant. Sun's domain, Helios's demesne, the incandescent court. A beam of intense, overpowering brilliance shoots forth from the floating fortress into the asteroid with vicious fury. You have seen such a phenomenon before, when the aspirant drew too close. It pierces the vessel, shaking it to the core and utterly arresting your motion. You fear death is imminent, but instead the Phoenicos just hangs in the air, like a boar stuck upon a hunter's spear. Then slowly, inexorably, it is pulled toward the fortress, reeled in as easily as a fish on a line. And you see him, in the center of the vast courtyard, before an immense throne of indescribable beauty, Icarus perfected in all of his glory. Powerless against his will, the Phoenicos is dragged down to the courtyard with a loud crash. Its metal hull buckling and shearing from the impact. Silence reigns over the heavenly chariot for a long moment before Icarus's voice echoes forth. "All I ever wanted was to please my father." His voice flat, emotionless. "I have endured an eternity of failure, pain, and humiliation. And now, when I can finally make him happy, you would try to undo it? What does that make you to me?" There is a hint of threat behind the words. "No, you are too late. The cycle is broken and there is no going back. And you, how would you like to spend an eternity trying and failing? Just enough hope to keep you going. Just enough soul-wrenching pain to have you go mad from despair?" There is a twitch on his face. "Does that sound familiar? I look forward to seeing the statistical analysis."
Two options. Option 1. Icarus is beyond reason, beyond logic. Mad, like the Oracle of Delphi. His devotion to his father's selfish ambition robbed him of volition. Your only hope is to strike fast and hard and hope to bring him down before he can slay you. Fighting is the only wise choice here. Attack Icarus immediately and gain the wise Providence boon. Option 2. Icarus was once your ally, and beyond that, immortal. None of you can say what an endless cycle of suffering would do to a soul, but his soul still lingers within him. So big is his kindness. He was wronged by his father, and then wronged again by the twisting power of the sun. If you take the chance, if you just try to reach out to him, perhaps you can make him see the folly of all this. Try to persuade Icarus to turn aside from his ambition and give up on ascending to the throne of the sun god. I think the option, or the answer that we should go with, is pretty obvious here. I think Icarus is blinded by power right now, and I think we need to try to reach the Icarus that we met, see if he's still inside. We'll go with option 2.
You descend from the Phoenicos, a strange feeling rising within you as you set foot upon the marble flagstones of the courtyard. The architecture, the pillars, the mosaics, it is all immensely large, dwarfing even the towering figure of Icarus. And the throne, that is a throne of a god. This is a land not meant for mortal eyes, the sensation humbling, then exhilarating, and finally angering. Icarus glances down at you, his wings spread wide as his golden features remain impassively still, unreadable. And yet you feel like you catch a gleam of something in his gaze, a flicker in the eye. What could it mean? You have no way of telling. "Icarus!" the party leader bellows, voice carrying far in the emptiness of the courtyard. There is no wind here, no sounds of life, only vast emptiness. "You must stop this madness." Icarus scoffs. "Look around you. I stand on the pinnacle of the world. The throne of dawn and dusk is right there. I will become more than anyone thought possible." "You already have," another of your number reasons. "You have endured the sun for dead gods only know how long. You have never lost hope. You have never given up. You are a rare beacon of humanity. Delphi needs you just the way you are. You are one of us, an Argonaut in all but name, and a dear friend." "A friend." The voice is cold and pitiless. "Do you know how many of my friends I've sacrificed to get this far? Do you know how many have died by my father's designs to propel us to this very moment?"
If M9 is marked, see 191. M9 is met Commander Electrion of the Aspirant, commander of Icarus's crew. Okay, so we see paragraph 191.
"We didn't all perish, lad." Electrion emerges from your group, stepping forward to face Icarus. The mortal's frame is insignificant compared to the golden giant before him. But he shows no hesitation, no fear. "You're better than this, boy. You just let your damn father's schemes blind you to the man you can be. You don't need to prove anything to him. You're a better man than he ever was. Far better than he deserved." The pair lock eyes for a long moment, Electrion's face beaming with genuine pride and compassion, Icarus's eyes glimmering with warring emotions. You realize the genuine love that passes between the pair, the bond between a mentor and his student, a brotherhood forged over many years. But then, just as quickly as the moment appeared, a shadow passes over the golden Goliath's face, and his eyes darken once more. "Don't talk to me like you are my father. You are not. He was. All my life, I've been living in his shadow, falling short of what he expected of me. Don't you see? This is my chance to prove him wrong, to exceed his expectations and grow past him. Finally get rid of him."
If C6 is marked, C6 is not marked. If R5 or R6 is marked, can I scroll here? Oh no, what happened to... Oh my gosh, my OBS just disappeared for a second and I thought I just ended the recording or something. I was like, oh god. R5 is not marked, but R6 is saved Icarus from Phaeton / the Sun Descendant. See paragraph 188.
Remember what happened on the Argo? One of your number steps forth. Your confrontation with Phaeton, the heir to this throne? I remember everything. The demigod Phaeton has everything a mortal could desire. Power, beauty, longevity, and Olympian grace. And yet, just like you, he is a victim of his father. He, too, has endured failure, and it has made him bitter and spiteful. The party leader sighs. No amount of power or achievement will fill that void you feel inside. You need to let go of the past. Stop giving it control over your life. Only then will you be truly free. If you continue like this, whether it is to impress your father or to spite him, you're just chaining yourself to the chariot of his ambitions. But your mission, Icarus counters, albeit weakly. The eschaton. You talk of letting go of the past, not letting our actions be controlled by what has come to pass. But your entire purpose here is because of that very reason. We are all threading the ruts that have been carved long before we were born. Mine might have brought me here, but with the power of Helios's throne, I will rise above them.
If Q12 is marked, see 193. That was one that we just marked, isn't it? It is. Cool, okay.
We were misguided to think we had the right to change anything. The party leader admits that we should change anything. Look at the people of Delphi, trapped in the never-ending cycle of violence, always looking back, never going forward. Only by letting go of the past, making peace with it, can we move forward and grow. Another of your troop adds, let go of your father's abuses, Icarus. Let go of the pain in your past. It has happened. Do not deny it, but do not dwell on it either. Leave it in the past. Come with us and help us to make a better future for the world instead. The party leader, already having dropped his weapon, reaches out to Icarus with an open hand. The glimmering giant is silent for a long, long moment, eyes avoiding your gazes as he wrestles with a storm of emotions. For a moment, you think his rage and pride may win out, but then, like the water escaping from a burst wineskin, his breath flees his lungs in a long, tired sigh. And he sags, seeming to shrink in stature as a wave of weariness washes over him. You're right, he mutters, head lowered. Then he starts to shake. Tears pour down his cheeks. I hate him. I hate him so much. The things he made me do to achieve this. He looks around, bewildered. The things I did to make him proud. What was it for? He rips the golden mask from his face and angrily throws it across the courtyard. For what, Father? It is all in the past, Icarus. He has no power here. Only you decide where we go next. I'm sorry, Argonauts, for everything I've done to wrong you. His gaze lifts, turning to the last surviving member of his crew. And for what I've done against you, Alectryon, the things I've put you through. You are forgiven, lad. The old man grins broadly. Glad to have you back with us at last. You move to surround the towering figure. A wave of relief rushing through. It is over. Over.
You have won the battle without needing to draw your blades. Icarus has been defeated by your wisdom, compassion, and acceptance of what has come to pass, as well as your determination to build a better future. You've emerged victorious. Emerged? Yeah. You've emerged a boat. Of course, as this game is about battles, you may still choose to fight the final battle against the Sun Descendant to test your mettle. If you choose to do the battle, see 189, otherwise mark R8 and see 197. Of course, we will do what we've done in the past cycles when we've had an ending like this, where we are going to fight. We're going to do the best of both of these. We're going to fight the battle, but then we're still going to mark R8, and we will proceed to 197. But first, we're going to do the battle. So let me jump over to that now. All right, I've got our battle set up here. I didn't put a ton of thought into all the Titan loadouts because I mostly just kept what we had from the Dahaka fight. But what we had there was pretty good, so I figured we'll just keep it. Made a couple of switches around, but I'll get to the Titan loadouts in a second. But we have some awesome artwork here for our battle. As usual, I feel like I haven't really shown a lot of artwork recently, so it seems like my mistake. And our battle introduction is break the vicious circle once and for all. This is the culmination of your entire voyage. Race the sun and win. If you lose this battle, you lose the campaign, and if you win, you break an eternal prison of time. For us, this is kind of just a little bonus battle since we got the good ending. So I don't think we really have much to worry about if we did happen to lose this battle, but we're going to do it for fun. We do have some special setup instructions that we need to resolve based on the hubs that we finished, as well as it looks like at least a couple of choice matrix codes. So let me pull up the side over here, actually pull up scribe on my screen as well. If you have finished the road less traveled hub, we have, when you place your Titans during the Titan and Argonaut setup, each Titan gets a free reposition to before the start of battle. That is awesome for this fight. We really appreciate that because now we can get some Titans into positions that they may not have been able to get into before, or can use lesser reflexes to be able to get behind their obstacles. Next we have, if you finish the Children of the Sun hub, each Argonaut gains 1 rage. We will get that rage. And then I'm going to give Aster her bonus rage now from this token, which I am not explaining, other than we got it after the Dahaka battle. Then what else? If you have finished the What We Left Behind hub, you gain a +2 bonus to every falling down test. We did not. If you have finished the Of Wax and Promises hub, climbing tests for VPs don't cost fate. What? Okay, I literally had to go back to Discord and check, so I was like, oh my gosh, have climbing tests costed fate this whole time and I've just been forgetting about that? No, I think people were also confused, but it seems like people have just treated this as you don't have to spend fate to do re-rolls for climbing tests. So we'll keep that in mind. Although I'm sure I'll forget about that. I don't know, let's give some kind of indicator. Maybe this will be enough of a reminder about that. Just a random generic token there. If you have finished the Can't Go Back hub, you gain +2 to every judgment attack test. We have finished that, so we will get that. How do I want to indicate that? Maybe just a little counter die here. Sure. Then if you have finished the Sin of the Fathers hub, we did not, but it says during the battle setup, immediately unlock the second highest VP. Darn, that would be nice. And then lastly, if you have finished not lastly, there's a couple more. If you have finished the Coming of Age hub, treat the highest VP as if it was permanently shaded. That is excellent. So now all of our VPs are considered to be shaded spaces, which is really cool, because normally that top one is not. Then if A2 is marked, A2 is marked. Supported Twilight Watch member Vetus in building the Astereem, helping to drive away the Sun Airs. Okay, so if A2 is marked, as you look to the skies, you see a familiar shape. The Astereem you helped Vetus restore. Today, the young inventor is here to repay that debt. You gain 1 additional Argo ability slot. That's awesome. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. I need to grab an extra holder here. 1 second. Okay. Let me read the other bonus here, and then we'll see. I need to grab another Argo ability. If E8 is marked, let's check that. No, wrong one. E8 is marked. Help the Delphians salvage parts from flying ships so they can hopefully craft one themselves. This one says if E8 is marked, as you look to the skies, you notice several smaller chariots fly above. It's the Hyperborean relics you helped the Delphians restore. Gain another additional Argo ability slot. Nice. We're going in with 6 Argo abilities. Well, unfortunately, that's like perfect actually. Maybe slide this in just a little bit, but that actually fits super well. Okay. Sorry, now I need to fix that on camera. Of course, I have to let you watch me do that. All right. And that's it. That's all of our bonuses that we have there. All right, I need to pick out a couple of extra Argo abilities here. The first one to me feels obvious. We're going to go with time dilation so we can get an extra movement, because anytime we can get an extra action, I'm sure that can be useful. And then I'm going to gain the reflex priming. I was debating between that and the one that reduces fate, the fate converter, but we're starting with no fate. I think we'll be okay on fate. I don't think the Sun Descendant is like abusive with how much fate you gain, and being able to unexhaust things without having to spend an action for it is usually a pretty nice luxury. Then maybe I'll slide this stuff over, and let's put our cannon shot here. Yeah, okay, that seems good enough. Then what next? Let's do a quick view of our Titan loadouts as well. And while we're down here, we'll draw our oboe to see what we get for Cyclopean Hand Mirror. You died. All right. Put green marker on that one. Shuffle these up. Oh gosh. And 3, 2, 1. Boop. Roll this. 4 mod 2 is even, so we will just keep that as is. I have to change my music because I'm playing the Halo soundtrack right now, and while it is awesome, it keeps ripping into some sick guitar solos and picking up a little bit on the microphone. So let me change to something that's a little bit less unpredictable. Ooh, and I need to rethink some of my positioning here because I wasn't really thinking about the first round here as I was doing this positioning during setup. So let me rethink that. All right, I'm actually going to do something that I don't think I've done this strategy before in the videos, at least. So let's try this. We're going to have one of our Titans go up and get on a VP during the first little bonus turn that we can get with Argo Cryptex Beta. And then let's also just flip some of these Cryptexes around. Let's have Truthbearer go with Argo Cryptex Beta. I think I want to give the extra reflex to Game Changer as well instead of Shadow Dancer. And sure, I think I'm happy with that. So now Truthbearer, run up, try to climb onto a VP. Shouldn't be too bad. So I expect him to succeed at that. Get on the VP, wound. Hopefully he doesn't get time clocked from being on the VP because he does not have reposition, but whatever. If he does, we'll live with that. We do have our time skip Argo ability to get him back if we need to. But if he does stick around, then he's going to have the highest fate most likely. And so I'm going to switch some of these time anchors around as well because I would like Truth Barrier to end up getting rewound to that point. Meanwhile, Shadow Dancer can just do the early reposition. Let's do the repositions now as well. Start of battle repositions from our bonus. So you can reposition there. The Game Changer, I guess, reposition 1, 2. You'll still need a reflex 1, but that's why we gave you that extra singular reflex from Argo Cryptex Alpha. Dawnburner can reposition 2 back to here. It is 2, right? It's not 3, because 3 would be incredible. No, it's just 2. Okay. And then Truth Bearer 1, 2. Will need at least some of that reposition because he does not have the extra movement that we normally give him from spherical armor. I could also use, I still have Hope Nymph that I could use instead of using Argo Cryptex Beta, but I'd rather not use the Hope Nymph, mainly because Hope Nymph means you don't get a turn during the normal Titan round, whereas Argo Cryptex Beta, you do get a turn, you just have a fatigue token. So there's not a lot of reasons I would not want that extra turn, because that extra turn could give me flexibility even if I'm not attacking with it. Yeah, I think otherwise my strategy for this is going to be pretty similar to how I've done Sun Descendant fights in the past, but we obviously have a lot of bonuses right now. I could be using Immortal Truth Bearer as well, but I think I'll save Immortal Truth Bearer for Cycle 4. We already have plenty of amazing stuff. We don't need to make our loadout even more overpowered. And you will rarely hear me say that when I have the opportunity to make my loadout more overpowered. But yeah, I think we're in a position so we can get everybody shaded for the first round. And then we'll just go from there. Other than Argo Cryptex Beta, are there any other start of battle effects that I need to cover? I already gave out Ambrosia tokens. I've got all my little tokens out. Okay, no, I think we are good. So we're going to start by gaining 2 fate with Truth Bearer. Oh, also the priority target token needs to go to Otis 0 since Otis has 3 rage. Truth Bearer is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and do a climb test here. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing it there, let's go here just in case we need to do the advanced reflex to get behind that iceberg. And Cersei has +0 to rage, but she does have +2 from Bellerophonic. So we need a 4 or higher, I think, for this VP, right? Yeah, climbing VP 1 is 6 or higher. So we need 4 or higher. Oh, sorry, that is a 5. So we will climb this VP. Oh, and I am dumb. I always forget about this. Start of battle, or when he starts his turn, he's going to have to put his time anchor there. Shoot. Yep, well, that may mean Truth Bearer is not going to be safe. All right, well, the only thing I think I'm going to change is I'm just going to put Dawnburner. I just want to have somebody's time anchor there because that is such a good space to be on for the first that first round. But I made a mistake. I didn't plan this out. I wasn't thinking through it. We're just gonna roll with it because I could just choose not to attack and maybe make myself a little bit less risky. But no, that's not fun. I'm just gonna attack because we already have our fate anyway. Now, let me slide these over a little bit. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry, I'm like sliding over my, there we go. A little Titan loadouts here. Just making sure they're good. Okay. But I think we can do our attack now. Also, let me get some of these fatigue tokens out because I know I will need them. And then I also need to get out, hopefully, our -AT token if we're going to be getting our cannon shot, which we were not successful in doing during the Haka fight. But let's attack with Truth Bearer. Do I want to use a charge of Arrow Barrage? You know what? Sure, why not? Let's use that to gain 2 opening tokens in our pool. So we have a boatload of precision to start this. Then we will gain a rage and attack. Am I missing any of the effects here? Okay, no, we're good. We will have, I did not do my warm-ups for my dice, so we'll see how these rolls are. We have +3, +4, +5, +6, +7 to hit here. So we need 3s or higher. 8, 9, and 2. I will, I guess, spend a fate to reroll this. Now I'm kind of wishing I brought Fate Converter as that extra Argo ability, but oh well. That's a 3. So we get 3 hits. Maybe could have done this without rerolling that too, but we will get 2 auto break from our weapon, auto hope 1 from ourselves. Then we can draw our BP here. And let's see, I think the worst thing would be like a responsive rewind. Sword Wing was not a rewind. Sword Wing is going to be 7 AT. If we fail, perform signature. If we wound, then we create a VP. All right, so let's just wound. We get 3 white dice and a black die. We have +1 power from being on the VP1. So we need 6 or higher on the dice, which shouldn't be too bad with the Agonius. Yeah, that is 7 power without the hope and the break. So we are going to wound that, and we are going to gain a VP. Let me just take you over here. Grab the right VP. I think this is it. Yeah, there we go. Oh gosh. Truth Bearer down. And this card will go into our wound stack, and we're practically done. We're very close, you know. Only 11 more wounds. You can get that in like 1 or 2 turns. Put another BP2 into our deck here. I did escalate, right? I did. Okay. 3, 2, 1. BP1. AI1 comes out. And hopefully we get an AI1 on top again, because this is the risk of using our Cryptex Beta and doing an attack during the first round, or before the Primordial goes. 3, 2, oh gosh. 3, 2, 1. AI1. Nice. That is what we wanted. Take all these out. Clear our Kratos pool, and we will get opening 2, hope 2. We get an opening 1 from Cersei boon. We can do elation 1. So get another opening token, and we have to do burden. So we will take an Ambrosia. Shadow Dancer is our closest Titan, so we will take the 1 Ambrosia off of her. Then we can get, let's see, 2 more break, another opening, another hope. Let's do that. 2 more break. Opening, another hope. Then we can lose a fate because we put at least 5 or more Kratos tokens in the pool. And that should end his turn, right? There's no other second ability window things I need to do. And you're going to get a combat fatigue token. And I'm not going to retcon this, but if you are going to do a strategy like this, I think, I mean, at least it would work in this fight. What I should have done was I should have had Shadow Dancer start here, Truth Bearer starts here. Then, actually, well, then we could have given like Glacial Fabric to Truth Bearer so that he can go through. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, actually. I'm sure there's other things you could have done that would have been smarter. That would also include maybe giving the Truth Bearer something like that can reestablish his time anchor. Anyway, Truthbearer may get attacked in the first Primordial round, but so be it. This fight is kind of superfluous for us anyway. But with that, also I have to remember to actually do my endurance test this time because I think I've been bad about that in the past. But we are ready to get into the first Primordial round here. So at the start of the Primordial round, we will do Extinguish Possibilities, draw a minor, a major, a grave, come on, and our obol. And let's see what we got. Minor trauma, there goes our bonus attack. Goodbye bonus attack. Major trauma, predict moves that is positive, that's going to come out as well. Grave trauma is also positive, that's going to come out. And okay, please don't be the You Live obol. All right, nice. So at least our You Live obol is still in the deck somewhere, but we have our You Died on top of the deck. Then we will also start off with a Merciless Sun attack. So we're going to get a Sun move, and I'm going to take the Truthbearer off because I know I'm going to knock him off if I don't do that. And we need to do some reflexes with both Game Changer and Dawnburner here. So let's gain a fate with Game Changer. And reflex him here. Then we'll gain a fate with Dawnburner. And reflex him here. Now every Titan is shaded, so nobody has to take that attack. And then after final attack, glaciate the time anchor of the Titan with the lowest fate. We don't get any choice this time, so we're going to glaciate the time anchor of Otis 0, aka Shadow Dancer. Then we will rewind the Titan with the highest fate, and that's going to put our Truthbearer in a vulnerable position. Then we will draw our AI card. And we got Deny the Supplicant. Oh, hell yeah, this is the good one to get. Target is Titan on the highest occupied VP. We do not have any Titans on VPs anymore because what's his name got not reflexed off, rewound off. Then target is zone 1 around it. There is no Titan in zone 1, but it's a zone judgment, so it still targets the zone, and we do not have to trigger the routine. And we still only have 1 paradox. Our doom makes us treat paradox as 2 though, so that is something to keep in mind for any gated effects in this fight. But we're going to skip the judgment because nobody is subject to that. Then after attack, place your time anchor. Okay, we skip the after attack as well because nobody was actually hit by this. And we're good. Nice. So that's going to get discarded. Then we're going to have to do the signature, and didn't really plan out who was going to get hit by this. Sun's Will is lowest danger in front. Oh, okay, so we can choose, well, actually it's going to go to the priority target, who is currently Shadow Dancer. That's fine, that'll work out. Go over here. Oh, and this also, oh no, this is still going to be a triple laser signature instead. I was going to say, like, I don't know how many fights I've ever done with a Sun Descendant where I haven't had to do that gated effect of the triple laser. Because not having to do that would make the signature a fair amount easier to handle. But in our case, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to move laterally, do a triple laser attack. That's 1 laser, 2 laser. This hits nothing. This hits nothing. We're good. This gets destroyed. And once again, we get through the first round of our Sun Descendant without having to deal with any negative consequences, really. Oh, this should have been taken off. And as a start of our Titan round, let's do a roll for our cannon, and we're going to prime it because we didn't prime it at all during the first fight against the Dahaka. And we're not going to prime it now either because that's a 1. You know what? Maybe it's just we just got that 1 out of the way. Let's get some practice rolls in here. we're just getting these ones out of the way for, you know, making sure we don't roll them during our attacks. All right, there's at least one crit. All right, I can see them almost wanting to roll on those crit sides. They're getting 9s. That's good, but it's not quite good enough. Come on. All right, I just need to see one more crit and I'll be happy. Come on. Okay, there's at least another crit on that die. I'm gonna re-roll these two just to get some other bad rolls out of the way here. I should give myself like a time limit in each video. Like I could just pause it too. I'm sorry. I should just pause it next time. I'm thinking I'll probably go first with Game Changer because Game Changer can then motivate the Dawn Burner into a position where Dawn Burner can actually attack. Shadow Dancer has a ton of reposition and doesn't need to be on a VP, so then maybe second we can go with her, third Dawn Burner, fourth Truth Bearer. Yeah, okay, but I think regardless, I do want to start with Game Changer. Moving everybody around, reestablish your time anchor. Anything I want to do before moving and attacking? No, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't even realize I don't even have enough movement. Oh, geez. Okay, well, not ideal, but we had enough windows of opportunity on the, I guess it would have been the signature that would have been our last thing. We could have, excuse me, we could just say we used an advanced reflex here for a fate. Gone like here, he still would have been out of the attack, but that would have put him in range to be able to run up and attack next. So we'll do that. Then he still needs to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't get adjacent to the floating rocks there. So actually, let's just go here with you. And we'll try to climb on the VP1. Heraclides has +1 to Fury. So he needs to get a 5 or higher. At the 10, that will climb. Go up here. Then, what are we doing here? We'll gain a rage and a fate to attack. Now, maybe I should have gone first with Truth Bearer, just so Game Changer could have gone second and lost a fate. Oh well. We will get 3 dice to attack with. We'll roll these 3. And we have +1, +2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, +7 to hit. We have that extra die from Atlantean Oscillator, so we need 3 or higher. Wow. The crit miss. I mean, this battle doesn't actually matter, so I'm not even going to bother putting a little like token on here to say that we would lose the Argon or the Titan after this fight, because this fight is kind of just an imaginary fight. But we're going to have to gain a fate here because I need to re-roll 2 of these. And I'm going to spiral this one just to not have to gain 2 fate. Yeah, really wishing I brought Fate Converter now. So re-roll those. And all right, we get 3 hits, no crits. And that is going to be... no auto tokens, nothing we need to do with the first ability window, so we'll just draw BP. 4 wing, AT value of 8. If we fail, we're going to gain some fate, don't want that. If we wound, we're going to get rewound. Oh, and actually that means if we rewound, we would have started our turn here, because we did that advanced reflex before our turn during the primordial round. We're going to need 7 on the dice. And what dice do we get? We're going to get 3 black, 2 red. And actually we need 6 on the dice because we'll also have +1 power from the Dehaka Blade on top of the VP. So, boom. 1, 2, 3 power, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the break, 8, 9 with the hope. That is 11. That beats 8. We wound, we rewind. So Game Changer is now here. Then we will put this in our wound stack, go up to 2 wounds, and get a BP2, 3, 2, 1, BP2 on top. Take out an AI1, in an AI2, 3, 2, 1, AI2. Then clear these, clear the dog hair out, clear that, and we get black 2, closing 2, closing 2, black 2, come on. What else? We'll have our, oh, we get arouse, we'll get some reposition. I don't know if I actually want to use the reposition though. How much would I get? It's the total of reposition 2, so I'll probably just stay here. What else? Then I can do elation 1 to get an opening, and get a break and an opening. And I can choose between either a break and an opening here. I'll probably take another break just to supplement those blacks. Take these out. Then for the motivate, I need to be thinking about these attacks, and I need to be thinking about the truth bearer and getting the truth bearer into a good position. So dang, I was gonna motivate Shadow Dancer into a place where she can attack without moving, because she has a ton of reposition, so she could still get behind things if she needed to. But I think what I'm going to do instead is motivate U1, motivate U2, and then that'll be that. Then we'll go with Dawnburner next. Activate you, reestablish your time anchor. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have the extra movement from spherical armor. And let's gain. I want to just climb on the VP1 here. Or, yeah, because maybe I'll save my scale ability for later. Because I don't need another Titan to get onto a VP this round. Yeah, okay. So we'll do our climb test. Do you get any bonus to rage? I think you do. Yeah, Aster has +1 fury. So she needs to roll a 5 or higher here. That's a 3. We will re-roll this for free. That's a 2. All right, we do not successfully climb here. That'll make this a little interesting, although I think we'll be okay. Dang, he doesn't have any reposition though. Oh no, he will. Okay, at rage 3, he'll get 2 reposition. Okay, yeah, this is still totally fine. Just a little less than ideal, not planned. Gain a rage, and we will commit for our attack. And actually, before we do that, let's use reflex priming to get back Argo Cryptex Gamma and Argo Cryptex Alpha, the one on the Game Changer there. So unexhaust those. Then we will just get 1 die to roll, but we're going to have +4, +5, 6, 7, 8. We just need a 2 or higher. That is a 3. Damn, we've been rolling low. Okay. But we still hit. We don't need to re-roll that. Let's get another set of practice rolls in here. Come on. Better rolls. 1 more practice roll. All right, let's just take that. We'll keep that on that on that. That there. No auto tokens. So we'll draw our BP2. Boom. Feathery Carapace. AT of 2. When you attack from VP2 or 3, you may initiate a combined attack instead. we are not doing that. We will get, what, 3 black and a white. And we have a, what's it called? We have a rouse token in there, so we're attacking as if we're at rage 4, but we don't get our extra power at that point yet. What happens if we fail? Oh, regardless, it's going to be perform signature against the attacker. It might be a wise move to use Death Follows here, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to roll these dice. Let's see if we can get this. But yeah, we need 10 on the dice because we have nothing to help us out. Okay, that's pretty good. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll use our black on these two. Boom. All right, that should be plenty. So we're gonna get 3 from each of these. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, we're good. So we wound. We're gonna end up having to perform signature against the Dawnburner. So put that there as a reminder. Put this in our wound stack. Go up to 3. Get a BP3 in here now. 3, 2, 1. BP2. AI2 comes out. AI3 goes in. This is not our ultimate. The next one is not our ultimate either. Oh my gosh. 3, 2, 1. AI1. Okay. I'll go back to this screen. Take this out. Take these out. Clear these. We will get Hope 4. We are at Rage 3, so we also get Tireless. We don't have to worry about exhausting our weapon because of Cumbersome. We get Hope 4. We're going to get Break 1 from our Argo Cryptex. We have 1 Motivate to hand out. It'll probably... I actually need to think about that one. Let's see, what else do we have for our tokens? We can get an opening and a fire. Yeah, just 1 opening and a fire. The rest of these will come on out. And then reposition. I think I'm just going to end up, I think I'll reposition here. So that way it doesn't hit the Shadow Dancer. Okay, that actually makes the choice easier too, because now it also means that Shadow Dancer is not going to benefit from that Motivate 1. So instead we'll use that Motivate 1 on Truth Bearer, put him there. And I think that ends it for our turn. We still have to do the Sun's Will signature against us. This is going to be 3 dice. Need 11 or higher to evade. Oh, and then we need to do this. It could actually come this way and come south, but then Game Changer would be targeted, and I don't want that. So 2 of the lasers in row or columns 10 and 11, they're just going to miss and hit nothing. This one is going to hit the Dawnburner. 11 or higher. Yeah, because we have no bonuses to evasion. That's a crit evade. Nothing for that. So that is just an evade, but we get 2 hits. No free rerolls, but we do get to reduce the damage done by each laser attack by 1, right? Each laser attack hit and sun attack hit deals 1 danger less to a minimum of 1. When you're about to die from incineration, draw a noble instead. So instead of taking 3 danger per hit, we're going to take 2 danger. So that'd be 4 danger, but we also have a white armor die to roll. But we actually, from burn, I think we're going to end up getting 1 extra danger as well. I forget. Okay, yeah, it's part of a primordial attack. So we need to add that danger to the normal attack danger. We have no flammable cards, but I think we have one metal card, which is our hand mirror. So we're about to take 5 danger. See if we can reduce that at all. We reduce it by 1, so we take 4 danger, which is actually not too bad. At least with that, we unlock Death Follows level 2 and Hero by Mistake level 2. Did I forget anything here? Oh, I should have gotten an extra opening 1 from Aster's Boon. Then we will draw our, is this a major or a minor? Oh, this is just a minor. Okay. Draw a minor trauma. Boom. Time clocked. Reestablish your time anchor, then gain the time clocked condition card. You are, oh, I didn't even reestablish your, I did reestablish your time anchor, okay. You're gonna go here. Time clocked. Goes there. Then rewind does not affect us because we are now time clocked. So, oh well. Go back there. Then we'll go with Shadow Dancer. Reestablish your time anchor. Then move and go 1, 2, 3. Let's just go there. She will gain a rage. That's going to make, it's going to keep her as the priority target. And gain a fate as well. And you know what? Let's actually gain a fate to do parallel anchor and reestablish her time anchor before she attacks. Then we're gonna have +5 to precision because we have a pauldron, so we get +1 from that, +1 from our weapon, +1 from repurposed cryptex, and we have 2 opening tokens. I really don't want a full miss. Let's just do arrow barrage. Let's get another 2 opening. So that's going to put us at +7. We need a 3 or higher. That's a 5. That would have been just barely enough had we not used arrow barrage. We won't get any auto tokens here. Draw our BP. Oh boy, we're getting time clocked with you as well. Well, potentially, assuming we wound here, but I think I like my chances of getting a wound. 3 black, 2 red, and we need, we need 8 on the dice because we have no bonus power. It's going to be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 total. So we wound, we create a VP, we rewind, and then we time clock. Last VP in here. Then rewind, we're already on our time anchor, and then we get time clocked. Yay, another Titan just gone to time. In between times. There, and then we need to put this in our wound stack. You're at 4 wounds now. Get another BP3 in here. 3, 2, 1. BP2. Getting a lot of BP2s here. AI2 comes out. I took out an AI2 last time, right? Not an AI1? Yeah, okay. AI3 goes in. The next card is not our ultimate either. 3, 2, 1. AI3, shoot. We don't have our Solitude Nymph. This was number 3. Clear these. Clear all this. We will get break for Hope 1, opening 1. We attacked from a time anchor. What else? We don't get a chance to use level 3 ability from A Night to Remember because we're time clocked, so we exhaust that Devolver. We will get Rouse 1. Oh, I think I forgot that I had Rouse 1 when I was attacking with Dawnburner because I should have used the level 4 stuff, but it wouldn't have actually mattered. Maybe I wouldn't have used Arrow Barrage then, but oh well. Oh, also, Homeric Engine I forgot about. When Shadow Dancer attacked, she could have gained a Rage instead of a Fate. Or, sorry, a Danger instead of a Fate. So we'll do that. Then for other tokens, she's going to get 2 Break, 2 Closing. Also, probably dumb to give her the ranged weapon in this fight because she has, what's it called? Scale as a Kratos ability. I wasn't thinking about that. That's okay. I'm not too worried about winning this fight, honestly. I think usually with these final fights you get enough boons and you have enough good things that you're probably okay. And we still have some nymphs that we can use. I think that's it though. These will come out. Reposition doesn't matter. I can't use Motivate because I'm time clocked. I don't even have any Motivate. You do get to lose a Fate though because you placed 5 or more Kratos tokens. And that will end your turn. Then lastly, we will go with the Truth Bearer, reestablish the Time Anchor, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No free actions that I want to do, so we will simply use our combat action to get the fatigue token off, and that will end our Titan round. I will come back to this fight very soon. Be right back. All right, I'm back and we are ready to go into the Primordial round. So let's start off with some Extinguish possibilities. The only negative trauma that we know we have on top is the Obol, which is you died. So we need a minor, a major, and a grave trauma. Our minor is Thrown Off Balance. I hate that card. Not as much as I hate the one that does the crit miss effect though. This will stay on top as well. Gain a Paradox. Then our grave trauma will also stay on top. Add the You Died Horribly to the Obol deck. Balancing things out nicely where we had all positive traumas in the first round and now we have all negative traumas. Then we start off with a Merciless Sun attack. So the Sun Descendant is going to do a nice little sun move here and go, oh, I forget, is it there? I think it is along the board edge, right? Just double checking. Yes, okay. We will go there and then we have to check for unshaded Titans and everybody is shaded or just in some other time completely. Oh, wait a second. What? Why didn't I do reverse time flow in the first Titan round? Because I went last with Truthbearer, right? I honestly probably wasn't even thinking about that. I was probably thinking, oh, I can't use it for some reason until the next round, but I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt and assume I did think of it and I didn't do it. I chose not to use it on purpose. I feel like I probably should have used it, but hey, we'll let one of these current Titans get untime clocked through natural causes, and we'll, I guess, maybe save ourselves a charge of reverse time flow for later in the fight when we might need it in an emergency, because we're not in a rush to get both of them back from time clock. So, okay, we'll leave it as is, although it might have just been an oversight on my part. So Merciless Sun, everybody is shaded or time clocked. We will have to do the after final attack where we glaciate the time anchor of the Titan with the lowest fate. That is going to be Shadow Dancer has to get her space glaciated. That'll go there. Then rewind the Titan with the highest fate. That's going to be Game Changer with the highest fate. He's already on his time anchor, so we have no action there. Then we will move on to our AI 3, which, I mean, I guess I guess I could have tried to get that off the top. Why didn't, maybe, was I just in a rush to, I was kind of in a rush this morning to get to work. I probably should have done time dilation and time skip to maybe, well, then we would have wounded a BP2, probably gotten another AI 3 on top. Oh well, whatever. I think we'll be okay. Let's do the AI 3 for fun. Heavenly Light Show. Target is lowest fate in front. Let's see, between Truth Bearer and Game Changer, that's going to go to Truth Bearer. And this is going to be a sideways, I think this is considered to be a sideways laser attack. It just says triple laser attack, but it does say continue sideways. So we'll go here. Move lateral and attack. So Sun Descendant just has to shift south 1. Do we have any spaces that we have to glaciate first? We do not. That's after final attack that we'll do that. And we do not destroy the glaciers here, or the icebergs that reflect the laser. So let's do this from top to bottom. So this top laser goes, it hits absolutely nothing. Middle laser goes, it hits this iceberg and then reflects north and south. That will do nothing effectively. Then bottom laser goes, hits this iceberg, goes north to south, also does nothing. So no effect there. Then, wow, okay, yeah, I guess nothing happens there. Probably a good thing then that I didn't have Dawnburner untime clocked. Okay. That feels like a bit of dumb luck. Then after final attack, we will glaciate D12, J14, H16. I feel like I'm missing something. But I don't know. I don't see what I'd be missing. D12, J14, H16. D12 is there. J14, what is that here? J14, H16. H16, yeah, okay. Cool. That ends that attack, I guess. Wow. Surprisingly, not really screwed by the AI3. Then we will do Sun's Will, our signature, and target the lowest danger in front. Truth Bearer and Game Changer both have 0. It's a tie between them. Do I care who he's closer to? I think if I move him up towards, if I have him target Game Changer, then I can reach the Sun Descendant with both Game Changer and Truth Bearer, because if we go, have him go up here, then Sun Descendant will do the triple laser attack, destroying this iceberg, and then this laser goes nowhere. And then Truth Bearer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. So I like this. And yeah, all right. That is it for this Primordial round. It's weird that, like, I'm almost disappointed that he's not getting some good attacks off on me. I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to just be like, oh, you just got screwed. Not with missing. Missing is never fun, but sometimes, like, you know, it's fun and engaging to have the battle set up in the way where you're just trading blows with the Primordial. But I think we've just done a good job of setting ourselves up and kind of lucking out with some of the time clocks, but also just trying to look forward to Titans having to get in a position for shaded spots for upcoming rounds. Because I have gotten screwed. I don't know if they were recorded fights, but I have gotten screwed with like the AI cards where it's like it does the sun move and then it's just like, shit, I thought I was protected and now I'm not. At the start of this round, let's do another roll of our 13th Muse Grand Cannon, and I can't wait to not prime it again. I thought I was going to use reverse psychology on it, and it didn't work. It outsmarted me. I think I'll go, let's see, if I go with Game Changer, then I can do reverse time flow to get the Dawn Burner back, then go with Game Changer. If I do a lot of power against it, then I would really like to be able to get this green Time Anchor off of the Glacier space, although that's not really going to matter. Also, is that actually a... It is. I thought it was an Ambrosia elephant that I put out there by accident. Lowest fate going into the next round will probably still end up being Shadow Dancer. In which case, it's not really going to matter if I move the Time Anchor off of that space because it's just going to get glaciated again. All right, let's not spend too much time thinking about this. Let's go with Game Changer, activate you. Your Time Anchor is already reestablished. Let's do reverse time flow and bring back, we will bring back, what's your name? The Dawn Burner to the red Time Anchor. And this way Game Changer will be able to motivate them into a position where they can attack. And also we still have Scale, which I could use this round. This Time Clock card will also go away, but I will put it off to the side because we'll probably have to deal with it again. And Game Changer will move 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do a climb test. We'll just try to get onto the VP1, which would normally be a Fury test of 6. But Heraclides has +1 Fury. So we only need a 5 or higher. Do I have any other benefits to that? Let me refresh myself on the effects that we were supposed to get at the beginning of the fight. I think they were mostly just affecting the endurance test, the free rage, the reposition at the beginning of the battle. Climbing tests don't cost VP, which we're interpreting as we can reroll for free. Highest VP is permanently shaded. And then the extra Argo ability slots. Okay. So we need a 5 or higher still. Boom. That's a 2. All right, let's re-roll it for free. Oh my god. Come on. Terrible rolling today. Jeez. Like, great luck on not having to worry about the primordial attacks, apparently. But, oh, actually, I will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will say the Game Changer went here. Just so that way he was out of the way of Dawnburner. So I think that's okay. But now we are going to attack and commit. So we're going up to 5 fate. And we have +1, +2 precision, plus our extra die. And then +3 from these. So we're at +5 total, I believe. If I have done my math correctly, which who knows if that's true at this point. Oh, before I attack though, let me gain 3 danger to activate Shaded from my Shade training, just in case I need it. I'm going to use this to mark that I did that. And I'm going to use my last charge of Arrow Barrage here. This might be a mistake, but I want to see if I can use the Spiral 2 here. And so improving my accuracy is going to be a smart move, but I would like to reduce my fate as much as possible. Ah, man, and this is a good reason for Game Changer not to go first, because if he goes second or third, he gets to lose a fate, but it just makes sense for him to go first right now. So we still need 3 or higher here. This one's very cocked, but these are 2 hits. We're going to do a new rolling strategy. That's, just barely working out for us. That's 3 hits. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's +7. Yeah, okay, so we do get 3 hits. We will spiral these 2 and keep this hit. So we'll lose 2 fate from spiral. Do this one at a time. That works for the power dice, right? That's a 6. That's a 3. No crits. No crits. No auto dice either. Nothing else in the first ability window. So let's draw our BP2. Oh, was that a little off? That's fine. If your weapon has the spear trait, no, I think we're a sword, right? Yeah, we're just a sword. AT of 9, we have nothing to benefit that, help that out. Oh, we do have the 1 power from Dahaka Blade, so we need 8 on the dice here. We'll get 3 black and 3 red, because we were at 4 rage, or 5 rage, technically, from our Rouse token. We need 8 on the dice. All right, I think this is doable. Boom. Oh, hell yeah. That's a great roll. So my normal D10s are shit today. My power rolls, hopefully, are on point. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? +1 from the power, 18? Damn. All right. Could have wounded a BP3 with that. Should we just swap it out? Can we just put a BP3 in its place? That is going to be create a VP. They are all already created, so no effect. What would our crit effect have been? That's a nice crit effect. All right, this goes up to 5, right? Let me double check my count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Accurate. And that was a BP2. So we are getting another BP3 in here. We have a lot of BP3s in here already. I'm not going to be surprised if we have to deal with those soon. 3, 2, 1. Yep, it's about time. AI 2 comes out. AI 3 goes in. Our next card is the ultimate. Oh gosh. 3, 2, 1. I just shifted all these down. AI 1 is on top. Should I just stop attacking for the round? Just stick with the AI 1. Game changer. Pull these out. Okay, we need to get these white dice on some good sides here. Got to prep them for their rolls that are coming up. Okay. Then pull out these tokens. We'll get to keep a rouse, and we get to pretend like we're on Rage 5. Now we get black 2, closing 2. These out, black 2. What else we got here? We did the rouse 1 that we're keeping. We have some motivates and some reposition that we'll deal with. I don't know how much the reposition is going to help me because it's not really enough to do a lot. Then we'll get, we do have an elation still. Let me get rid of this last ambrosia token off him, put in opening token here. We could do like 2 break, 2 opening. Or should I do 3 break? 1, 2. Do 3 break and an opening. That's probably enough because I mean, both Truthbearer and Dawnburner have plenty of precision. It's just having the extra breaks would be nice for that. All right, so we'll keep that. That comes out too. Oh, we did exceed the what's it called? The total power exceeded the number of AT tokens. So whose time anchor do I want to reestablish on my space? And I can reposition. Well, actually, I think I have the Watcher. I'd probably need to use that total power ability as soon as we do the wound, so not in the second ability window. So if I want to do it, I'd have to do it now. I don't think I really see the benefit of it, though. I don't know, because green would just get glaciated again. And right now, green is in a much better spot if the Sun Descendant's going to be here next round. At least from there, another Titan can inspire Shadow Dancer to stand up. Okay, I'm not going to use that ability from Eye of the Watcher, but I do still have some Motivate and Reposition. I need to use at least Motivate 2 on Dawnburner to go there. That's not true. I could get away with just Motivate 1. And then let's Reposition 1, 2 there. And that's going to end Game Changer's turn. Now I'm trying to compare between Truthbearer and Skyseer. Dawnburner, who is going to have a better chance of wounding here. And I've recently made some changes to my attack simulator app, so I'm going to take this chance to show those off and just use it here. So I'm going to pull up the attack simulator, whole new UI. I don't know, by the time this video comes out, like right now I'm running this on my beta website. You can publicly access the beta, just be warned that I will probably be breaking things there from time to time. But by the time this video is out, I'm sure this change will be on production along with some other changes, which is just the same URL without the beta. But yeah, so we have our setup here. There's a couple different modes you can do. You can do like manual instead of doing like armory loadout, but armory loadout is just really easy for being able to select your Titans and their weapons and everything. All this weapon information comes from this ATCC site, the Aeon Trespass card catalog that Artifice created. So shout out to him for building that out, because that's a ton of work getting all of those cards in there and allowing me to pull data from it. Really appreciate it. It makes this site much more usable. But yeah, so we have our Titans set up here. We have our Dawnburner, our Truthbearer. They have their normal Kratos tables. They have their weapons set up. Let's see. They have their Rage, Fate, and Danger set up. These are kind of important in some cases for like gated effects. Like the Danger gate can apply to Argo Cryptex Gamma, where if you have the 6 or more danger, then the app will recognize that and account for that in the simulation. But let's see here. I think I have everything set up. We have Sun Descendant, level 1. We're attacking in BP3, so we're attacking a 17 to 18 for our AT values. To hit value of 10, we have our Kratos pool with 2 opening, 2 black, 3 break, arouse, and 2 closing. Some of these tags, for instance, or some of these things are controlled by like spoiler tags. So like, for instance, I had to show the cycle 4 spoiler stuff to be able to get the closing tokens out. Also, I should probably set it up so that if you remove that tag, then this should get reset, because otherwise you might get some surprise extra tokens in your pool. That's confusing. I also have it set up. I have the setting over here to say attack with rage +1. So that way, even though we're at 3 rage right now, we're going to be simulating them attacking at 4 rage, because they would normally get that. But then also, they have the Rouse token in there, so effectively it'd be 5 rage for both of them. But let's go ahead and just run the simulator. I want to set up something to minimize these, so you don't have to scroll down and see this big old empty gap here. These are lower than I expected. I mean, 17, 18 is a very high range, but let's see. 1 red, 4 black, 1 white. That is what I would expect to see if we are doing Death Follows level 2 ability, so that looks right. And then for Truthbearer with Theogonius, yeah, 3 white, 1 black, 1 red. That looks about right. Let's see. Okay. One thing we did not account for is the bonus power that we would get from being on the vantage points. So what we can do there is Dawnburner would be able to just go straight up to the BP or the VP3, no problem. So he'd be able to get the +2 from that. Truth Bearer. Whoa. I mean, let's see what it would look like if he was able to get up to the VP3, but I don't know if I would put him up there. So we'll give him the +2 power as well. Am I missing any other sources of power? You can always hover. I need to figure out a better display for this. But you can hover over and see things. This is kind of a bad display. The other way you can do it is if you're like, I don't know if this is actually like loading things correctly, emerging boat, I don't trust your coding. You can duplicate this to a manual loadout, and it'll copy everything over and just show you like everything that it's actually using. So +5 precision bonus, +2 power, 1 white die per hit. At a black die, and this is from his Titan sheet. Then this red one is from the Kratos table. Auto Break 2, Auto Hope 1. With the Truth Bearer and the Immortal Truth Bearer, I just assume that everybody has the R7 marked, so you get your Auto Hope 1 there. But anyway, let's run the simulation with this. That is way higher. If Theogony, or if Truth Bearer can get up to the VP3, then he's going to go up to a 51% chance to wound. Meanwhile, Dawnburner stays down at a 25% chance, even at the VP3 and having Death Follows. That is lower than I expected, but our Kratos pool isn't great in terms of break and black tokens, so not too surprising. Yeah, another mode here, I mean, it's not really that useful right now, but another mode that I added is this loadout analyzer, which allows you to kind of see how your weapons are going to behave at different... I haven't really actually played around with this at different rage levels, but you can see how your weapon is going to perform against a certain primordial at their different VP levels, and it just takes a loadout that you have here and then runs it with no tokens, and then adds up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 opening tokens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 break tokens, whichever ones you select here, just to kind of see how your weapon responds to tokens being added to the pool, so you can see which tokens are more valuable. It's not a perfect view, but it helps. These simulations do take a little while. Work on some performance things for these, and also maybe have them load as they become available, because right now they're all just going to appear at the same time. I did shout out to, who was it on Discord that said this? Eggnogium pointed out that I had an issue with my power rerolls, and it was more about I was doing some bad logic with how I actually reroll dice in the game with power rolls, as opposed to it being like faulty code. So I added a little reroll strategy selector here, so you can kind of choose things, and if you want information on like what these mean, you can get a little hover thing here. The default one, I would say, is probably how most people behave, but that table heuristic one. But yeah, so this just gives you kind of a view of like how does your weapon like respond to the different token types. Oh wow, that's very surprising. What? Opening token is the most effective or the biggest game changer for Daedalus Flight? I guess that... Huh. Interesting. What if we said we skip the attack roll? I mean, I guess granted this is also including an extra red die. Or is it? Base full hit, power dice... No, it wouldn't be. Okay, anyway, after the simulation stops... Oh, that shouldn't be hovering over that. Those charts should not be active. Okay, well now you're just seeing me think about problems in my own app. Okay, yeah, if we skip the attack roll, then you... Okay, now we're seeing that. What I would expect is that opening tokens have no effect if you are skipping the attack roll. So, okay, so if everything hits, then you're pretty much guaranteed to wound with the BP1. Anyway, all right. So check this out if you want something as like a nice tool to be able to test out your loadouts and see what your chances are of wounding are, or if you're trying to like work on improving your loadouts and figuring out what tokens are more important. You will find that hope tokens are, not so unexpectedly, some of the best tokens you can possibly add. You'll see different behaviors with different weapons about how effective black tokens are. I think black tokens are the most interesting ones to look at, because sometimes early on they can be the most effective ones, but a lot of the times it comes down to Break and Hope are just like triumphant. But anyway, let's go back to our video. Go back to this. And I guess the question is, like, if I want the best chance to wound here, I need to get Truthbearer up to that VP3. He's going to have +2 to his climb test, but the VP3 would normally be a, what, 9 or higher? And Guard has no bonus to Fury. So I'd still have to get a 7 or higher. My rolls on D10s have been terrible today. Even if I take I just did another simulation, even if I take the Truthbearer just to a VP1, he still has he's a 34% chance of wounding the VP3, even without Death Follow, so I'll probably go with him. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then he can leave a pretty good pool for the Dawnburner to attack. Is there anything, sorry, before I go with you, is there anything that I forgot to do from Game Changer? No, I think we have everything. So Truthbearer will go activated, reestablish your time anchor. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a climb test. So we'll just try to climb onto that VP1, which would normally be a 6 or higher, but we get +2, so we need a 4 or higher. So this roll, that's a 9. Of course I roll high when I don't need it. So we will go there. Then we will gain a rage to attack. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I really want to do right now. So just gain that rage. And all right, I'm feeling a crit with these 2 dice. I'll grab this one. And we have +5. All right, we're at +9, so we just need to roll 2 or higher. Boom. Of course we get a crit miss. Luckily, doesn't really matter for us because we don't have to care about our adversary. So we'll re-roll this for free with our closing token. We get an 8. That was almost a crit. That was close, but we're probably not going to wound anyway, so it's not really going to matter. But we will get 2 auto break and an auto hope. This is probably one of the biggest reasons why the Truthbearer had a better chance of wounding. We're going to have +1 power from the VP1. Anything else that I'm forgetting? I don't think so. Germinating Helionaut. Atemporal. Oh, I haven't seen an atemporal card in a minute. AT value of 17, so it's on the lower end of the spectrum there. But the instinct response is perform signature against the attacker. Oh, it would have been fun if we had actually, it would not have been fun, honestly. That would have been kind of lame at this point if the Sun Descendant died here. So, you know what? I'll say it. I'm glad I didn't crit. That's right. We're going to get 3 white dice. We're going to get 1 black die. We're going to get 1 red die. And we have some black tokens in here. Let's just roll this because it is not going to wound most likely. Yeah, it's not looking super good. This one's pretty good. We'll probably end up keeping that. Let's see. How many do we have here? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then that's 3 break, 8, 9, 10. Then we'll keep this one as well. That's 11, 12, 13 right now. So I think what we need to do is use black on these 2 and then just re-roll this one and see if we can get something better. Because we are short by quite a bit here. So we use black on these 2 dice. Okay. That's not bad. And then re-roll that. All right. We might be close here. I think we got it. I had a pause to count. This one I think we did not use the black on, right? It was these 2. So in power we have 2 plus 3 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then with black we have 11, 12. With break, we have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then with the hope, we have 18. And, well, I'll be damned. We wounded that. Nobody double check my math. do not count my power. I forbid it. You're not allowed to. Just, you have to trust my counting. We are going to get a generic double wound in our stack here. So put that there for now. I need to go to this screen. Generic double wound. We go up to 7 wounds. We're going to take out a BP1. I think all the BP1s are out then. Oh no, we still have 2 more. We put in a BP3. It's all, there's no BP2s though, right? I probably shouldn't be looking at that, but whatever. So we have 2 BP1s and a BP, and 2 BP1s and 4 BP3s. 3, 2, 1. BP3. That was the most likely outcome. AI1 comes out. AI3, aka our ultimate, goes in. And this is where we start deciding if we want to be picky with our attacks. 3, 2, 1. AI3, but not the ultimate. That goes there. We'll go back to Truth Bearer here. Pull this out, pull these out. And what is our Kratos? Oh, and then we have to do signature against us as well. So put this off to the side. Hope 2, opening 2. Opening 2. Hope 2. What else? We have Elation 2 and Burden 1. Game Changer's our closest Titan. They don't have any Ambrosia tokens or any other, what are the other Despair tokens we can take off of them? Condition tokens too, but can't take any of those. So we took 2 Ambrosia out. We put 2 opening in for Elation. And what other goodies do we get? I think that'll be Break 2, Opening 2, Hope 2, Break 2. Opening 2, it's another 2 opening. Another 2 hope. Could replace 1 hope with a black, but again, usually hope is more valuable. These come out. Black is there. There we go. Then we have to do our signature. Or, well, our signature. Like the Sun Descendant signature. Old Sunny D. Sun's Will. Target is already decided for us. It's going to be the Truth Bearer. Move lateral and attack. We are on a VP, so the laser is going to shoot up into the air at our Titan on the VP. Then, yeah, so we need 3. We're going to try to evade 3 hits. Do we have any evasion bonuses? We do not. We need 10 or higher. Oh, Truth Bearer also would have lost a fate from putting 5 or more tokens in the pool and get an extra opening token. Not that we really need it, but we're going to take it. We need 10s. That is no 10s. We get any free rerolls? No, we do not. But I think I want to spend 2 fate anyway, because I think it'd be beneficial for me to be tied with Game Changer for highest fate. Dawnburner might get up to that point too, but let's gain 2 fate to reroll 2 of these. I don't really think we're going to get any benefit from it other than some strategy with who gets rewound in the next Primordial round. Ooh, crit evade does nothing except help us with the danger for this attack. Nice. All right. Well, thank you, Dice. That was cool. So it's going to be 2 hits. Each hit deals 3 danger, which is going to be 6 danger total, but we have burn as well. We have 1 Metal Gear. Not Metal Gear. I mean, it is a sword, so it is kind of solid. Let's see. Yeah, only 1 Metal Gear and nothing flammable. Just double checking. Yeah, I think we're good. So that would normally be 7 danger that we'd be about to take, but we have a white armor die. See, we can bring this down. Let's see, 7 dangers. We're probably going to be drawing a major card, which is going to be a paradox, which would be fine. Okay, so we reduce it by 1. So we go up to 6 danger. And that is still going to be our major trauma, which we already know is, boom, Fateful Paradox. We're going to gain a paradox. Where are you, Scribe? There you are. Go up, and not crew, but paradox. And now we have to treat this as 3 paradox because of our Doom card, right? Does the Doom card say just globally? Yes, globally treat your paradox value as 1 higher. This will come out, go back to this. But yeah, honestly, that's fine. If I were like, if you were trying to like play Menestus Theater strictly by, like you're going to play it by the book and you're going to use your campaign stats exactly as they should be, you should try to aim for having 3 paradox at the end of your cycle 3 run, just because I think that is very beneficial for unlocking abilities on your gear cards. Plus, it makes the Primordials more dangerous, which, if you're doing Menestus Theater, you kind of want the Primordials to be more dangerous anyway. So, yeah, I like having 3 paradox for the Menestus Theater because it is, I think it's the better bet than trying to get like 0 paradox. But to each their own. Then this will rewind us, and we will go back to here. And we will end that turn. I gotta be honest, when I was coming back to like try to finish up this battle for tonight, which I don't know if I will finish it tonight, but I will try. I wasn't like feeling super energized, but now I am. I'm like gassed up right now. I'm ready to go. You know, I think it's you, the audience, that does it for me. You know, just you sitting there and cheering me on. I can feel your cheers, even though you're not going to see this video for at least a month from now. But hey, you know, I can still feel it through the camera. I'm sure anybody who watches this video is just like sitting there with a bowl of popcorn and just like, yeah, come on, emerging boat. Ooh, yeah. I mean, that's what I would be doing, at least. These videos are like a fucking feature film length long, so you probably do need some movie snacks. But if you watch these videos not at, well, I guess, okay, actually, English being my first language, I'd be watching this at double speed. But if English is not my first language, I would probably not be watching this at double speed. If English is not your first language and you don't speak English and you're watching the closed captions for this, or I actually think I disabled auto dubbing. If you are interested in me enabling auto dubbing, please let me know and I will enable it. I had just read that people generally disliked it, so I turned it off. And also, I think it doesn't apply for videos over 2 hours anyway. But anyway, yeah, if you don't speak English or you're not a native English speaker and you're still consuming this content at more than 1x speed, like, damn, good for you. You are a smarter person than me. Also, what the hell just came on my music? I don't like lyrics and music when I'm playing a game like this. It's too distracting. Something from... Oh, Blue Stolly did music for Cyberpunk? Huh. Okay. On to our next Titan turn. I could go with Shadow Dancer, but maybe there'll be something that could let me get a Titan back from Time Clocked. I don't think there is, though. Yeah, anyway, we'll go with her. That will flick Time Clocked over to Arriving. Does somebody else have gotten the priority target token? No. 4 is still the highest rage that we have. And then last but not least, we will go with the Burner of the Dawn. Reestablish your time anchor. And then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're probably not going to wound. This is maybe more likely to be an 18 AT value as opposed to a 17. But we're going to just use scale. Actually, if I wanted to do I forget, do you get a bonus? Argonauts. Aster has 1, Fury, so not really. Yeah, let's scale. gain a fate. Let's climb up to that third vantage point. And we will attack. Oh, actually, you might end up being the sole highest fate here because you do still have to commit. You're going to go up to 4 fate. Do I want to spend? No, I don't want to. Oh, I could spend a charge of fate safe and then use the priming. Yeah, actually, let's do that. We will exhaust that, spend a charge of fate safe doing this before the attack to reduce your fate by 1. Then we will use reflex. Oh, but also if I do this, then I don't, like, rules as written, I don't think there's anything preventing me from unexhausting a card from the Shadow Dancer while she's time clocked, but like, that feels wrong. So let's, yeah, let's not use it. If you end up having to be the person to get rewound, that's okay. Go back up a fate. We'll just roll a crit and then we'll lose a fate that way. We already gained our rage. And is there anything else that we need to do? We could become the priority target, but that's okay. We have +4. Okay, we have so many opening tokens. We just need to not roll a 1. That's a 4. I'll just keep it. Let's see, we're gonna get +2 power from this. And put this in the pool. Oh, darn, we don't get our extra red die from, because we don't have a rouse token in the pool. Shoot, okay. And it's an AT value of 18. When you attack from VP3, you may initiate a combined attack instead. You may voluntarily end this attack before performing a power roll. If you do, clear the Kratos pool. If you fail, draw an obol. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty unlikely to wound without this, so we'll just do this as a combined attack. Which means we're not going to use Death Follows. We will get 1 white die, 2 black dice, and no red dice. Sorry, an extra black die, 3 black dice. I was like, this feels light. We have +2 power from being on the VP2. So we'll just roll these, see what we get. This is a combined attack. Those we keep. We can probably re-roll. How many power re-rolls do we have? We don't have any unless I want to ignore a fire token. Yeah, maybe should we just re-roll one of these? Nah, actually, I'll just keep it as is. It's a combined attack. This is 2, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll get another 6 between the break and the hope. That brings us to 12, +2 from being on the VP2. That brings us to 14. So we will get to add 7 to this next time we try to attack this BP. This will go back on top of our BP deck there. And I just put a little die here as a reminder. To this window, you don't escalate. This comes out, clear this, although we're going to get a bunch of hope still, so we keep that there. Break 1 from our Argo Cryptex. We'll have a Motivate, which I am going to use to motivate you to here. I already know that. Then we're going to get an extra opening from your boon. And what else we got here? We will get an opening and a fire. No, I'll take that. Then we can do another fire. And then we can either do another hope or another opening. I kind of want to take an opening because I feel like my D10 rolls have been terrible, but I think statistically, it's still going to be better to take a hope. So we'll do that. We will put these away. We have reposition 2, but I don't think I need that. Ooh, and actually, you know what I should do? Maybe I should keep you here. Because Truth Bearer has 2 sources of reflex available. Game Changer has a source of just a single reflex. I do need to start using my Charges of Chronosphere warning system, but I also kind of like that I've been saving those. So we're going to actually reflex Game Changer South 1, because that way he can become shaded by going here. Truth Bearer can become shaded by going here. Oh, and then actually that puts us multiple Titans at 4 fate, so we get to choose who's going to get rewound. So that could be an interesting choice. Oh, and I forgot. Dawnburner has priming from Argo Cryptex Gamma. Exhaust all cards. Nice. That would apply to the Titan sheet, I assume. Doesn't just say gear cards, it says all cards. So, cool. He could have scale back for next round. That is going to end our Titan round. We'll put these back to their ready sides. Clear off that. Clear off that. Nothing else we used. We are setting ourselves up nicely for a solid, hopefully solid end to the next, to the fight in the next round. But we're going to have to deal with another AI3. I also do still have a number of nymphs that I can use. Any ones that I think pretty much all these, yeah, depend on a Titan dying, which we haven't had to deal with yet. Blade Nymph only needs an Obel draw. I guess technically we drew one from Cyclopean Hand Mirror, but I think I've ruled before that that doesn't count as... I think it's like resolved and Obel is what I would treat it as. I don't know. That's just personal preference. But going into the Primordial round, I don't know why I said that so weird. I was going to say Titan round, and then I corrected myself, and then I just put some kind of weird spin on the words. Going into the Primordial round, we need to do Extinguish Possibilities. On Minor, we still have Thrown Off Balance. On Grave, we still have There Will Be a Reckoning. On our Obel, we still have the You Died Obel. But on our Major, we have Heroic Death. Oh, honestly, at this point in the fight, that's okay. Do I get to move from this one? Move up to 3 spaces and perform a bonus attack. Okay, that's actually good to know that this would be coming up, because that could affect where I position Titans from movement. Like for reflex and everything. And yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we die regardless if we wound or not. I mean, that could be an ideal scenario where it's like they die, we get a bonus attack off, we wound, hopefully, and then we can bring them back to life with transient death. All right, that's neat. All right, what next boat? We got to do Merciless Sun. So we're going to get a nice little Sunny D movement here. Go over here. You back on here. And I have to remember to do my... Oh, God. I have to remember to do my hold on test here. Hopefully I don't break the Primordial like I did in my last cycle finale video. All right, I have to remember... Let me just put a generic token on... Dawnburner here, just as a reminder to do the hold on test. Then we need to get everybody into shaded spots. So let's do, we will gain a fate with Game Changer. Exhaust this to bring you here. We will gain, I think I want to go, if I assume that Truth Bearer is going to get attacked, which may not be a good assumption. But if I assume Truth Bearer is going to get prioritized over Game Changer, then I would prefer to go to this space instead of this one. That could really screw me if we do not go after Truthbearer, which Game Changer does have the lower danger, and Sun Descendant does like to go after lower danger sometimes. Let's see. We know that at the end there's going to be Sun's Will, which is going to be lowest danger in front, which, I mean, that's going to be Game Changer. So yeah, actually, I think I do just want to gain a Fate and just move one space here. Argo Cryptex Beta. And then at this point, everybody is... Oh, actually, I forgot. I didn't... I forgot. Game Changer is shaded. I did not need to use that Motivate on him. So I am going to retcon that, actually. I'm going to say that we did not motivate you, which means we also don't have to worry about reflexing you just yet. Yeah, I'm retconning this, otherwise it was just kind of a waste to do shade training. So I will gain a Fate back with you. I will gain this back, and that means we would have motivated you here, which means we would not have needed to use reflex for you either. But we might still want to use reflex for you anyway to get you back at 4 Fate. Retconning might actually be worse for me, but that's okay. So yeah, I am, even though I motivated him 1 there, I am still going to say that I want to use a Fate, which I have not lost yet, so we should still be at 4 Fate. I want to use a Fate to motivate, or to reflex to here, because I don't want Dawnburner to be the one who gets rewound. I mean, that might happen anyway because of other effects, but I would prefer to not have to get rewound from Merciless Sun because of him being on a VP3. And if he gets rewound, that is moving him pretty far away from the Primordial. So, okay, I think we're now in a good game state where I accounted for the shaded effect that I used with Game Changer, and still gained a Fate to be able to have Truthbearer get rewound. All right, I'll take that. So Merciless Sun goes off. Everybody is shaded, so we don't have to worry about anybody actually taking that attack. Then we will glaciate the Time Anchor of the Titan with the lowest Fate, which, surprise, surprise, it is Shadow Dancer. It's already glaciated, so nothing changes there. Then rewind the Titan with the highest Fate. That's going to be Dawnburner or Truthbearer, and we will rewind Truthbearer here. Oop. Titan down. Yeah, these time anchors are just like a little too small, I think. Then Merciless Sun ends, and we go into drawing our AI card. This would be where it'd be nice to have the Solitude Nymph, so we could ignore this. Although no Titan has died yet, so actually we wouldn't even be able to use it anyway. Obliterating Beam. That doesn't sound good. Lowest danger in front, which is going to be the Game Changer. All right. This is going to take some thinking. Fix that card up a little bit there. All right, I think I have it figured out. Wait for me to just set this up and then be like, no, shit, that's not right. We need to glaciate C5, F8, and I12, although I don't think that's going to have an impact on what I want to do. C5 is down here. F8 is here. I12 is close to the Game Changer, but not enough to really do anything to help us. Then we would do move lateral and attack. Each hit deals 5 danger. This is a triple laser attack. After attack, rewind. Ooh, giant glaciate K3 to L4. Where is that at? K3 to L4. It'd be centered here. Okay, that's going to have no impact on us. So, yeah. All right, what I want to do is use a charge of Chronosphere Warning System, which, happy I saved these. Go 1, 2, 3. Then we can combine that with a Reflex and gain a Fate. And go here. Boom. Then move lateral and attack. The Sun Descendant will shift over here and do a triple laser attack. And not only is Game Changer protected, but, so this laser hits nothing. This laser is going to clear the glacier space off of our green anchor, so our Shadow Dancer can arrive unimpeded. And then this glacier will get destroyed because it's directly adjacent to our target. After attack, rewind, it doesn't matter because no Titans actually got hit. And then Giant Glaciate K3 to L4. Find a Giant Glacier tile. Oh, there they are. K3 to L4 is up there. This comes out. And damn, what a silly goose this guy is. He's just hitting icebergs. He's not even hitting our Titans. That comes out. That attack is done. All right, like, I'm not missing anything on these, I don't think. Yeah, I'm just doing a good job of getting behind these icebergs. Sunny D's is just goofing around right now. Then lastly, we're going to have End of Hope, which is going to be our old signature, which is going to target lowest danger in front, which is still the Game Changer because he's just a little slippery guy. Now it would be amazing if I had my advanced reflex still with Game Changer to be able to avoid this attack. But I think I'm just going to have to actually take this attack head on, apply directly to the forehead. 3 dice. And yeah, triple laser attack. That doesn't matter though, 'cause the only thing that's really going to matter is Game Changer getting hit. We only have +1 evasion, so that brings it down to a 10 or higher, but that was where we got before. We do get 3 free rerolls, so, and we have a block from our Shalusalam if we need it. So that is no evasions. But we will reroll. Actually, we have 6 free rerolls. Oh my god, we have 8 of. Okay, I did not think about how much I was stacking rerolls there. We have 2, 4. We have 8 evasion rerolls. Oh, that's wild. All right, let's see if we get anything. Nope. So we can block 1. Because if we don't block 1, we're going to be taking 9 danger, which would put us at 12 danger. If we do block 1, then we are going to be taking 6 danger. Oh wait, we have to worry about burn. Do we have metal or flammable? Oh, surprisingly, we don't. No, just all types of other crazy gear, crazy materials. But yeah, we absolutely want to block 1 here because that would bring us down to only gaining 6 danger, which would put us at 9 danger total, which is going to make us draw the Grave Trauma, which is just you died horribly into the Obel deck, which is, you know, screw future me. It's fine for now. And it adds an opening token because Game Changer would have survived a Grave Trauma. So that's pretty sick. Dang. You know, Sun Descendant, I gotta be honest, you're really sucking in this battle because even the times where you're actually hitting me, I'm finding really good value in it. So, like, thank you. Maybe this is just because we, you know, befriended Icarus, so you're just kind of going easy on us. Maybe that's what it is. We're gonna chalk it up to that. Oh, I'm also gonna get rewound after that too. That might hurt me a little bit. Gain of Fate and exhaust Shalusalam, so we block 1, so we take 2 hits, which is going to be 6 danger, which is going to bring us to 9 danger total, just like I predicted it would through those mathematical equations. Which is going to be drawing our Grave Trauma, and wow, surprising, there will be a Reckoning. So that's going to go into the back of our Grave Trauma deck. We will add You Died Horribly into our deck. And since we're adding this, let's take our ovals and shuffle them up, and we'll just stick them over in the corner there. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Roll a die. That's a 6. 6 mod 3 is 0. So those just stay as is over there. And burn does nothing to us. And then after attack, we rewind. And we do get... Oh yeah, you're yellow. I was like, I thought you were green. And I was like, wait, I messed something up. No. Game changer is yellow. And that will end Sun's Will. And, oh, I need to get another opening token in our Kratos pool because the Game Changer survived that grave trauma. And then we start the next Titan round. Our Game Changer is no longer shaded. Then let's just fail to roll our cannon charge really quickly. Cool, glad we got that out of the way. Put this back here. Get some... Oh, nice, a 10 and a 1. A 10 and a 2. Let's just keep the 10s going, but increase the other die. Let's get you in here. How many times can I do practice rolls in one video? All right, last practice roll. Okay, great. Terrible, so must be a bunch of good rolls ahead of us. Ooh, all right. Something I think I'm going to retcon here. Would that work? No, because 2 movements not enough. Never mind. I was going to say I would love to try... Oh, well, Dawnburner would have Motivate 1. Yes, okay, I am going to do this. From this last... from the signature, from that window of opportunity that we had before the move, lateral, and attack, I am going to retcon and have had Truthbearer gain a fate and do an advanced reflex to get down to here. It would not have affected our attack at all. But what it does allow me to do is set it up so that after the Dawnburner goes, this is a moot point if Dawnburner gets time clocked, but if Dawnburner goes and, what was I going to say? Oh, Dawnburner also needs to do a hold on test, but Dawnburner can go attack and then motivate the Truthbearer to be here. So the Truthbearer can do a climb test onto the floating rocks, which is easy, and then do another climb test, or I guess just move onto... anyway, it should make this much easier for the Truthbearer to replace the Dawnburner as the Titan on the VP2 or VP3. TLDR, that's what I'm going for. But we need to start off with a hold on test for the Dawnburner, so we'll do that. The hold on tests are what, 7 or higher? Yeah, endurance test is 7 or higher. And Aster has an endurance bonus of 2, so it's 5 or higher. We do not get the bonus for the endurance test. That was only if we did the What We Left Behind hub. So we still have to get 5 or higher. Okay. Red die. Boom. 6. That was almost a 4. All right. That was a very important roll. But now we will go with Dawnburner, reestablish their time anchor to be, it's going to have to be adjacent to the Primordial. Where do we like it to go? Let's say here. No, let's go here. No, yeah, let's go here. We'll do it there. That can come off. Oh, and then also at the beginning of the Titan round, we want to swap out Arrow Barrage for Transient Death, just so we have that available. And we will attack, gaining a Rage and a Fate. And we now become the priority target. We have +7 to hit, so we need a 3 or higher. Boom, that's a 6. I would love to crit. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because this is still, that would be the kill the Sun Descendant, and that's just, you know, that's just not fun. So we're gonna get our BP3 here. We get no auto tokens. I think we've got everything we need. And we're carrying over 7 power from the last attack. We will get a white die. We'll get 2, let's do these 2 black. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 black. Then we do get a red this time, and I'm not going to use Death Follows yet because there is a chance that I want to use time skip on Dawnburner. So I might save it from when we don't have the benefit of a combined attack. And by might, I mean I am going to save it for that. We have 7 power from the last attack. We have +2 from being on the VP2, so we're at 9 total. So we need 9 on the dice here. Boom. Not great, but hopefully good enough. 3, 4, 5 power, 6, 7, 8 from the break, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, can I actually just make sure that I don't have to use any of the fire and carry one of the fire over? Probably. We'll go here. Boom. Boom. That means we don't have to use any fire, and that would put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do this one here. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, okay. So we don't have to use any of the fire tokens. We wound it with the combined attack. Oh, this one's just dealing an additional single wound. Oh, I guess it was the last one that was the Obel one. Or not the Obel one, the kill the Primordial. Dealing the single wound would have been very nice, actually. So this is going to put a generic... Oh, I wasn't even on my Dawnburner there. Oh my gosh, I wasn't even showing the... Oh, shoot. Well, this is what it was. Damn. I am going to work on something for that after cycle 3. Maybe I'll set up an extra screen or something like that across from me so I have something more in my line of sight for being able to see. It's definitely been better than in previous cycles, but dang it. Well, there it is. We will get a... Did I already add the generic double wound in here? I don't think I did. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we need another one. So we go up to 9. 9 wounds. Take our BP stack. We remove a BP1, put in a BP3. We might just be in a position where we're just going to have to do this with BP3s from this point on. 3, 2, 1. Yep, BP3. And this goes onto the bottom. Then take these out. AI1 comes out. AI3 goes in. 3, 2, 1. Our ultimate is on top. Go back to the Dawnburner screen. Go over here. Pull these out. That out. Take that out since we don't have a combined attack anymore. We lose one of our fired. Then we will get most of these same tokens back. Hope. Well, probably I'm going to end up getting Hope 5. Break 1. Let's just put all these... Well, that might change my decisions on the Kratos table, maybe. We're at 5 rage, so... Yeah, 1 more hope, which I already put in there. Oh, wait. 4 hope, 5 hope. No, yeah, okay, this is right. Sorry, I thought I was miscounting something. Then we get an opening and a fire, and then 1 more fire. Then We have opening 1 from our, what's it called? Our boon. And then motivate 1. And I can gain a fate to gain rouse 1 as well. So we'll do that. Gain rouse 1. Then I'm going to use movement to move down. Our truth bearer has a slightly better chance of wounding on a VP3, so we will let him try to take that time skip attack. So we'll just use our movement to move down with the Dawnburner, because we can do that on these Sun Descendant VPs. And that ends their turn. Then we will go with Truth Bearer, activate you, re-establish your time anchor there. And then we will try to climb onto the floating rocks. We only need a 2 or higher to succeed at that, because we have Bellerophonic and it only takes a 4 or more. Roll that. That's a 5, so we succeed. And then we can, as a free action, we can just move on to a VP1 of an adjacent Primordial. And then, double checking this, we should be able to just move straight to the VP3 with our movement action. Yes. So we can move up to our VP3 there. We will gain a rage to attack. We're gonna have our, I'm gonna roll, I don't know, I'm feeling the green die. Feeling the green die. We're gonna roll these 3, and we just need, oh, actually, we have +5, 6, 7, we need a 3 or higher. 3 or higher, please. That's a crit, baby! And then this one went out of pocket, so we got 2 hits, one of them was a crit, we're rolling for our 3rd hit. That's another 10, baby. A 10, and an 8. Hell yeah, I am actually showing the camera this time, so that's good news. Auto hope 1, auto break 2. And we are going to get 3 white dice, we're going to get 1 black die, and we're going to get a red die. And let's go ahead and draw our BP3. What do we got? Simulated Sun. Oh shit, I didn't do a temporal for... oh man, that was a while ago. Would that have been Heroic Death for somebody? Or Heroic Death might have been drawn earlier. Shoot. I messed up. Yeah. Was it the same BP card? It would have been the double wound that I got with Game Changer in... Was it Game Changer? No, it was Truth Bearer, who at the time would have had to draw a minor trauma. Oh, this would have been big, because we would not have had our gear available, because we would have had to exhaust all of our exhaustible gear. Okay, shoot, I don't think I can make this fully right, because I have some information that I wouldn't have had before, but everything would have been exhausted at that point. We'll say that we would have used our last charge of reflex priming to be able to have gotten back our 2 sources of reflex on the Truth Bearer. That's the piece that I'm not sure if I would have done that, but I'll just, if I say that I did that, at least makes things make logical sense. Yeah, because I think he would have been at the minor trauma before. So this minor trauma would have been drawn, so that would go back to discard pile, which means that at the last extinguished possibilities, we would have had to draw this minor trauma, which would be faint, and so that goes out of the game, so we don't know which card is on top of our minor trauma deck right now. So, sorry, I don't think that really meaningfully influenced it, but I'm going to I've got to remember atemporal. Let's put a condition token on Truth Bearer to remember. We need 17 or more. We have +2 from being on this vantage point, so we need 15. Let's do this one die at a time. Let's do our red die first. Hell yeah, that's 2. Let's do our black die. That is 2. Let's do a white die. That is 4. Let's do a white die. That is another 4. What is that? 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boom. Okay, I think we got it. Not a great roll, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'd say all 3 of these break, go to this one. So that's 10. Then 11, 12, 13 from the fire. 14, 15, 16, I think that's just barely making it. And actually, I think we can do this without using the fire. So this is 5. Then this becomes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we have to use 1 fire. Oh, wait, actually, then we have the +2 from the VP. So that puts us at 19. So we're totally good. We don't need to use the fire. We can bump one of our hopes from the dots to a potential symbol to avoid using the fire, and we are good to go. We wound, we create a VP. All the VPs are already created. So that is just going to be another generic double wound into our stack. Brings us to 11 wounds, and I'm gonna remember atemporal. I'm gonna remember atemporal. I'm gonna remember atemporal. I'm gonna do it. I promise. I wonder how many times I've forgotten that. Gonna do this. Then we will take out our last BP1, put in our last BP3. Give these a shuffle. 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's probably going to be an AT value of 18 on top. Although I think there's more 17s than 18s. We'll take our last AI1 out, which comes out of our discard pile. Put our last AI3 in. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look, an AI3. Go back to Truth Bearer. Take these out. Take that out. And we're going to leave all but 2. We're going to take all but 2 fire tokens out because we did not use any, but 1 will dissipate. We'll get opening 2, hope 2, elation. Do we have any? We don't have any ambrosia on Dawnburner, so we can only do elation 1. Does give us another opening token though. We can get break 2, opening 2, hope 2. Break 2, opening 2, and then another opening from our boon. Another hope 2. These will come out. Yeah, we do not have a rouse. Those go away. And then atemporal. Haha. I remembered it. And we are going to draw Heroic Death, which means we're going to get a bonus attack. We're not even going to have to use time skip. Well, fingers crossed, assuming we don't get a terrible power roll here. This should hopefully be our final attack. But we're going to get an epic moment with Truth Bearer doing his final attack while caught in his death throes. So we will gain a rage. Then we don't have to do any movement. We will get 3. Oh, actually, didn't we? Who do we crit with? Oh, wait a minute. It was just. We just crit with Truth Bearer, didn't we? Yeah, we did crit on this one with the bearer of truth here. All this hubbub with me forgetting about atemporal before got me thrown off. So what was the one that we crit on? Create a VP, disable the Sun Descendants laser attacks after the battle, resolve the Ton Asterion. Did we already resolve this one? I think because this is like the final thing. Well, we did this for Nietzschean too. I don't know. Let me figure this out. I'm all dazed and confused. But then I think our BP deck just has one less BP in it. I'm sorry, I'm just shuffling it again. I don't know why I started shuffling it because I didn't really need to, but 3, 2, 1. BP3. Why did it really matter? Yeah, this will go here. Did I already take out the extra double wound? I don't think so. Should have 9 here. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus that is 11. Cool. So we got, okay, so now actually we do not resolve atemporal for this. We do not do heroic death. That still goes back on the top of our major trauma. So for this attack, we are just using the time skip after all. There's probably other things that I've screwed up in this battle, but as I was saying, I'm not going to forget to do atemporal for this one. Y'all were probably like, you don't need to do atemporal for this one. But I think I already gained my rage for this attack. I had to step away for a second, so I did forget about if I did that, but I think I did. We have +5 precision, plus a bunch of openings, so we just need to not roll a 1. That is another crit. Fuck yeah. Like, I think technically these don't count, but I feel like I ran into this with the Nietzschean. How did I handle it? I don't know. Like, it's just more fun to be able to get this stuff from it, but also, like, this battle didn't actually happen technically. Whatever. All right, we're gonna get our Auto Hope 1, Auto Break 2. And take this out, that out, that out, draw our BP3. Germinating Helionaut. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna get the final, hopefully the final blow on the crit that would also just kill the Sun Descendant outright. We get 3 white dice, 1 black die, 1 red die. We're just gonna roll all these all at once. We need 15 on the dice here. Boom. Hell yeah. 6, 8, 9, 10 just from the power. Let's see, 12, 14 with the break, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, like we got over 20. We crit, the Sun Descendant dies, although not really. Woohoo! So that was our final battle. I feel like the final battle for Cycle 3 is not quite as epic as the final battle for Cycle 2, because the Cycle 2 has just like all this really cool story that builds up through it, and you're kind of going back and forth, and it's a confusing battle because of how much story you're kind of intertwining, and there's a lot of like reading, fighting, but I think it's a much more like cinematic fight. But yeah, I think the way I'm going to handle this is that I'm not going to take the cores or anything from the BP3s we wounded, because also if I had lost Titans, I wasn't actually going to lose them, since this fight didn't really happen. We're just kind of doing it for the sake of the video and showing like what the final fight could look like. But we kicked his ass. I mean, holy crap. Granted, like when you have Theogonius, we have Daedalus' Flight, we have a Cycle 4 weapon with the Dahaka Blade, and we have the Devolver with Time's Arrow. And we have a Cycle 4 Titan in the Shadow Dancer. Like, of course we're going to do very well. This is not really going to be representative of, I think, most people's games going into this. I do think a good amount of people, like I think a good amount of people can get Theogonius by this point. I still think the hardest fight so far through the first 3 cycles is the burden hardest to bear fight. I remember having a hard time with that in the first playthrough. This second playthrough, like, there were things that I did wrong. I cheated by accident in that, and like I barely won that. I think the Nietzschean fight in this cycle, depending on when you unlock or when you get to it for that, what was it, the Doom 2B card? If you get to that late enough in the cycle, it shouldn't be too hard, and then being able to unlock the Agonius is just a blast. Also, I'm looking at that special event that we would have done from wounding that BP3, the Tanasterian, and we did do that already. We have resolved that with Aster. That was the one where we had the confusing ability with change erasure from existence or incineration into death. I guess technically we would get another Twilight Tally mark, but I don't think that really matters. And also, this battle never happened. So I will clean up later. Let's just jump over to our voiceover page here, and let's just close out this story. We needed to go see, if we choose to do this battle, see 189, ignore that. Otherwise, mark R8, which I think I did do off camera. Let me just make sure. I did it off camera because I forgot to do it earlier, and then I was like, I don't want to forget to do this. Yeah, R8, we marked. Convinced Icarus to give up the throne of Helios. Let's say, without battling him. Then see paragraph 197.
Icarus reaches out to you, a clarity in his eyes you haven't seen since he first stepped onto Argo's deck. He wants to tell you something, but can't muster the words. You approach him slowly, cautiously, but the behemoth Primordial lies dead and unmoving. It will not put up any last fight. The battle is won, and you, the Argonauts, triumphant. Time and time again, you've proved that.
No, this is not how it goes,
announces a boyish, melodic voice. You turn toward the throne. A giant, beautiful youth, taller even than the Titans, steps from behind it, radiating power and authority. His graceful step reminds you of a world once lost. His silky smooth voice soothes your souls, caresses you like a father's embrace. To give yourself away to a higher power, relinquish responsibility. How you've longed for this peace of child.
You kill him.
The youth lazily points to the wounded Icarus.
Then the lot of you monkeys continue with your mission to stop the eschaton.
What? Says the party leader, dumbfounded, his voice resonating through the Triskelion junction. Yet the boyish man, so alike Phaeton, but grander, fairer, hears you.
You dare speak to me?
The youth seems genuinely taken aback.
Oh, dear mortal, you forget yourself. Your place is on your knees, prostrating to me, not standing tall and talking back. This is madness, chaos. Unacceptable. I told them you get lost without us.
Who are you? What is this? His divine countenance contorts in disgust.
This will not do.
He points to Icarus again, and the hero blazes in incinerating flames. His scream cut short as his body turns to ash. The youth crooks his head.
Argo? Argo, are you there?
His voice resonates in your heads, but it sounds just like yours. There's emotion there, concern that was absent a second ago.
Thank the gods, we've stopped Icarus. We actually did it.
He smiles, tears of joy running from his golden eyes.
It's all over.
The smile is gone. So are the tears and all signs of empathy, of humanity. His skin radiates with a near blinding light, yet there is no warmth there. When he speaks, he is cold and uncaring, pitiless. Helios, you still have a hard time even uttering his name and not bowing your head. So deep has the conditioning been ingrained. This is your god.
Even the skull-faced ape had the decency to call me Lord, and I maimed him just the same.
His face is a perfect mask of utter dismay.
You monkeys prove the Aeon's old truth, that it is the sterilization of failures, not the selection of successes, that leads to an improvement of the mortal stock. Too late for you. Maybe next Aeon.
Instinctively, you raise your weapons, shocking not only the divine youth, but yourselves too. You did not bow to kings and prophets, tyrants and fallen heroes, monsters and primordials. You will not bow to a god. The only way is forward. The aeons of Olympians are over. The era of mortals has begun.
Inconceivable,
Murmurs the stunned Helios as you rush to meet him.
Holy shit! Helios is alive. A god of Olympus is alive. Ah! That's fucking nuts! What a twist!
This paragraph does not contain any narration. Proceed directly.
I don't know why I had to start that. Oh man. So here we are instructed to open envelope S. Inside you will find the battle scenario and further instructions for the upcoming fight. Special note, this is an extra special battle, a victory lap if you will. However, if you want to make it nail-bitingly hard, apply Phonikos Stoa rules, see below. Divine Surge. Before the battle, perform a Divine Surge. Cherished Memories. At the start of battle, take all the nemoses you've completed across cycle 1, 2, and 3. By reminiscing about your absent comrades, you can borrow their strength. You can use any ability from any of those cards as if you had those nemos. After you use a Cherished Nemos ability, discard that card. Phonikos Stoa. Optional, only if you're in for a super hard mode. The Phonikos has limited space for Titans, so your Titan limit for this battle is 4. You'll see. Proceed to the battle setup instructions on the setup 1 card. Oh shit, I didn't know there was a hard mode. I feel obligated to do that. Alright, well I think I'm going to end this video here. I think this is a good stopping point because we are in the hidden battle. What a fucking twist. If you've already been playing Aeon Trespass Odyssey and you've made it to this point in the cycle, you're not that surprised to hear this, but like, oh my god, when I first saw this, read this when I was doing my first playthrough, like, I was mind blown. Also, I swear my guy is not as orange or yellow as he appears on this. A little bit better coloring on my actual paint job, but I'm not the best painter. Anyway, Helios is alive. We have one more battle. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.